Hello, everybody out there in the internet. TKKNMSTR here, joined by
RPG Maniac 05.
Gamer 12.
Yeah, Trioptical is out there somewhere. He'll probably be joining us later, but we're going to give our gut reactions to the Sony press event that just happened with all the PS4 info, and give a rundown of what happened, and that was...
Or lack thereof
stuff.
Info.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, they talked about Vita at the beginning, didn't they?
I think they did briefly.
Yeah, they're going to continue support.
Which you would hope so. It's like, well, yes. It's like you just released it. It'd be kind of bad if we were just like, oh, yeah, so we're dropping this, and we're just going to go ahead with our PlayStation 4 stuff. So, yeah. Good luck with that. But,
So, yeah, the first thing they started talking about was, like, all the features of the console.
Yeah.
And they showed, like, it was a demo of the game, Knack. And, like, it was funny, like, when we were doing our live chat of it, or Google Hangout, me and Trioptical were like, is this real time? Is this real time? We were like, it looks too good to be real time.
It was hard to tell, because it looks like CG. But at the same time, it's like hard to tell these days. Like, is it CG? It could be real. You never know.
Yeah, because, like, before they showed that, they had this, like, tech demo of all these, like, blue orbs or whatever, and it was just, like, dumping on top of the stage, and it looked really, really
gross.
Ridiculous. And they're going over, like, the specs of, like, 8 gigabytes of video memory.
8 gigabytes, yes.
So it's like, there's, like, way more now.
Like, we'll see whether or not Microsoft will be like, oh, we need 16 now. It's like, one up each other. Because the rumors were that it was going to come with 4, and the dev kit was with 8, but now it's like they boosted up to 8. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
So yeah, it looked very ridiculous. Like, everything they showed in real time was like, every time I saw something, I was like, just like, wow, I want to buy one now. Wow.
Even the indie game, like The Witness, like, it looked good for an indie game. There's a couple people just like, oh man, it looks great.
But I mean, you couldn't be too surprised that everything looked good. I mean, it was kind of expected. So, but I guess, like, for me, like, I already knew the games were going to be pretty. I just didn't know they were going to be that pretty. So it's like when I seen, because when I was like doing the hangout with them or whatever, I was like, so is this like real time demos, or is this just like a cutscene that precedes the demo, but then it like cut right to, because I think I came in on like the Killzone demo that they were showing or whatever, and I was like, this looks like a really, really good cutscene, but I guess it actually went into gameplay, which is great, because I can't wait to see what kind of pretty stuff we come up with next gen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they have to show like one of their like top tech developers, like either Guerrilla or Naughty Dog. They had to show at least one of them to say, oh, this is what our powerhouse studios are working on.
Would have been interesting if Naughty Dog would have came up with like a new Jack and Daxter or something for it, because that series has been MIA for a while.
Especially like Activision, they're saying, "Oh, we haven't seen this character on the PlayStation in a decade." It's like, "Oh my god, they're gonna do Crash Bandicoot?" Like, oh no, it's not.
It's like, oh,
what was it?
Destiny,
yeah.
Because it always sucks when it's like you get excited for like something that's been MIA for a while, and then it's like, oh, that's not what's being shown at all. Oh well.
Like Sucker Punch, I was surprised. Like it's an infamous game, but it's not a direct sequel.
It's like a spin-off.
Yeah, spin-off, second song.
It would have to be, because yeah,
ending, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't be. It's like, let's continue on from what I was like. Oh right.
I was wondering, it's like, is that real or is that a cinematic? Like.
Yeah, it's great that it's so hard to tell now, which is, it's like, yes, finally. But I don't know. I don't think graphics is going to be enough to sell me on it. But I guess like when they were talking about the other features with like streaming the games,
that's where they hit like all the marks for me. It was like all of the streaming stuff and all the community stuff, just bam.
It's like it's someone who had to deal with recording things and then having to edit and then have to go convert it to the proper format and then upload it. It's like after like 6 or 7 hours, it's like, okay, I don't even feel like doing this anymore. I give up. So it's like to have it just like upload right to the everything for you is just great. So, I don't know. Although I'm wondering, like, could you, because I don't know if this was touched on or not, but would you be able to, like, do, like, commentaries and stuff while you're doing your streams?
That's what they said, right?
Because
they showed that, for NAC, they had a little, like, box of a woman on the corner playing the game.
Oh, then, But yeah,
they also had some like weird like super guide thing where it's like if you're playing and you're stuck, you can have someone else play that section for you or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like,
yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
Well, I think there were streams of this one game. Don't kill the game. Something. But like the developer went into the guy's game because he was stuck, and he just like moved him forward a little bit. Yeah. I guess that's the promise of that feature, but that's kind of a weird feature.
Because I made the joke about Tekken getting stuck on doors and how this would be like the perfect mechanic for him, because it's like I can't find the door, and he's like, the button's right there, Tekken, button's right there. Although it's like now I'm like, is there going to be like somebody there 24/7 just watching me play a game until and if they look like I get stuck and they're like, okay, let me just jump in and help you real quick, because that's kind of creepy to me. I don't like people watching me play stuff live. So.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I had that job.
Like, I don't know. But, I mean, I guess if he's not, like, making comments or something, it's like, man, you suck. Why taking you so long? What's going on here? It's like, I guess it's okay, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, all that stuff is just so cool to me, because it's like they take, I don't know, it's weird, because it's like the stuff that's like been happening for like this console generation that they just like took it and then like implemented it into like the current tech, and like even the remote play that they kind of didn't really build upon it, and then they just like brought it back and it's completely more refined, where you can just play PS4 games from any mobile or like smartphone or tablet or Vita, like anywhere, as long as you have like connection to your PS4, you can just remote play anything. That was pretty awesome.
I think the coolest feature was like you could start playing a game if you, let's say you buy it digitally, you could start playing it as it's downloading.
Oh yeah, that
was cool.
Like all that stuff that they showed in that part, man, I was like, this is so awesome.
It's a lot of promises, but it's like
that's all.
If they do come true, it's like, man.
Like to be downloading the game and then like play it immediately, and then like if it's a demo, just buy it, and then like not have to worry about backing out to the XMB to download it. It's just like all the stuff that they like freaking refined, where it's like your process of playing games is so much more simpler and easier and better now. It's just, man, so much more convenient.
Although, would it like would like other people using it at the same time affect it at all, or is it just like everything should be like seamless and no matter how many people are like streaming from it at the same time kind of thing? Because I know with like the PlayStation Store and stuff, usually on update days, it's like super slow because everybody and their mom is on trying to like download stuff and everything. It's like, is that gonna still be like an issue with this, or is it like not a problem anymore, kind of thing?
I think it might be because it's based on it's based on that server thing. So maybe if you're broadcasting from your system, it uses Ustream, because that's what they said, it uses Ustream, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably using their servers to act as a server for other clients. I don't know. That would be most plausible conclusion. Because that'd be weird if like you're playing like other people are watching you, but you're using your connection. Like my connection is kind of crap for uploading.
See, now I'm like wondering, like, since the one thing that kind of irked me, but I'm kind of over it already. That they, even though I'm such like a staunch supporter, I kind of like knew it was coming. Is that they like took out backwards compatibility, but like after that, I'm wondering like if like the 360 will be the same. Because like if that's the case, then I'm totally just like going to be like, goodbye Microsoft, because I don't plan on coming back after this. Start all over with my new
well, it's Sony
next gen stuff.
Go. Okay, because I was like, it does kind of suck that it's like not backwards compatible, because I mean that also kind of eliminates the chance of me like, putting the other consoles in storage or anything, because it's like, oh well, now I have this one console to play everything, but once again, I have to have more shelf space because Sony refuses to let their damn console be backwards compatible. So That's kind of a pain. I mean, my current PS3 is fully backwards compatible, so it's like that's not as much of an issue, I guess. But still, like my hopes of not having a cluttered gaming space only continues to dwindle in that regard.
Yeah, it's gonna be sort of depressing where you're seeing a trophy list like, oh, I still have some trophies left in Borderlands 2. Oh, I can't really play it.
Yeah, it's like you can't like just go straight to it. You have to like.
I have to go because they had the thing that commented on the lifestyle of putting in a game and waiting it to boot up and shit. It's like, oh, I still have to do that if I want to get these achievements or trophies. Like, oh.
Because I was almost worried they were gonna go the Vita route and like make you rebuy the PS3 games and then just have it like digital on your console or whatever. But they didn't even do that, so it's like.
Oh, another feature I loved. Suspend play. Oh my god. Fucking yeah. That's great. Just press a button. Just press a button and it goes into idle mode, and when you want to play again, you just press it again, then you resume where you left off within seconds.
Oh. Wait,
pretty much like the Vita.
Games are for just like their streaming one.
Oh, when you're playing games, like, oh, I have to like, go on a run or something. You just pause it, you suspend it, and then like when you go back, you resume where you left off. So pretty much like a pause button, but you don't have to leave the system on.
Man, I think like all consoles should have that because there's been too many times where I'm like, crap, I need a save point. I need a save point so bad right now, but it's like now that won't be an issue if you like have to go put out a fire or something. Whatever shenanigans go on, but that is a useful feature, I guess. I
still think the touch thing on the controller is stupid.
Well, I mean, I guess in a way, like if you were thinking like how they were trying to keep the Vita, if they were trying to make like the Vita used as a controller for the console, it kind of means like the controller itself would have the functionality just in case somebody didn't like have a Vita or something. So maybe if they were trying to do like because doesn't like Little Big Planet use like the Vita and the PS3 now or something? You can use that as a controller or something, or I don't know. But like the controller, like the PS4 controller, would still have the same functionality, even if you didn't, like for people who didn't, have a Vita already, they'll still be able to get the same use out of it if somebody was to release a game that would use the touchscreen on the Vitas for like the features, and because like the Vita still has the dual analog sticks and the touchpads and everything, so it's like they could still transfer that to a controller, but you just don't have, just in case somebody can't necessarily afford getting a Vita at the same time or something kind of thing. So there's that at least. But I don't know.
Oh yeah, and then like the controller has a share button, and like we were saying before, where it has like all this like video recording crap built in. Like basically, as you're playing, you can just like record clips and then like edit them, and then just like go straight to like upload them straight to like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and just it's like so much more streamlined and simple now. It's just crazy. It's like, man, I wish I had that now because I would use it all the time.
Yeah, it's recording your gameplay sessions. It felt like, what was that one game? Grand Theft Auto 4 on PC, where it records the last, 15 seconds of gameplay, and you just press a button and it'll just, like, upload that to their servers. So it's very reminiscent of that. Which, however long it records, maybe, I think it's 2 minutes, or 1 minute, the one I saw, for NAC. Oh, man. That'd be great. Even though, man... That wall they showed was kind of cluttered. Like the wall of like gameplay and your like screenshots, the friend screen, whatever, or community screen. Kind of weird. And they're gonna use real names now, so that's kind of weird.
No, I don't want people to know my real name. That's how you get stalked.
I know your real name.
Oh crap!
But I guess they're keeping it friends only. Know your real name, sort of like.
Facebook.
Is that Facebook?
Or Google Plus or whatever. Or YouTube or what, I don't know.
Oh, YouTube, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Oh, Trioptical's here. Let me add him.
Let's see. Is the spinner zoom button footage? I guess we'll wait. I guess I'll let Trioptical add his 2 cents before we move on.
Yeah.
Trioptical.
Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all. That's what I meant to do. But, so, I'll just wait till he gets here.
Man, Killzone. Oh my god.
See, it's funny, like, when I was watching that demo, like, I was like, okay, this game looks pretty. I don't even care about the gameplay because it's just a shooter, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's a shooter. But, like, everything else in the background, I was just like, wow, amazing. Just blew me away. I was like, that city, God rays, lens flare, the lighting. It was just, wow. Just
like, even Watch Dogs, even though it looked rough, Watch Dogs, because it was like, there was a, like VSync errors and shit. But it's like, man, the gameplay on that is so good. It's like open and how, like, what you could do. Even though maybe it looks scripted, but I don't care. It's like, if I could do that anytime, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I was excited for Watch Dogs. I was like, this is good.
I was excited that they showed new footage because, like, I was so kind of disappointed with Agne's philosophy. It's like, oh,
yeah, because like we already saw this, so
it's like, man, Watch Dogs new footage, it looked good.
That's
it's kind of creepy. It's like if you ever watch a show, Person of Interest, that's very similar. It's like, there's this woman in distress, but there's a boyfriend right there.
Here.
I have arrived, yes.
Okay, so we went through, like, specs, controller, the video editing stuff, and some of the UI. It was like the interface when you're looking at the stuff when you're, like, editing the video or whatever, so we haven't gotten that far into the conference.
Cool.
So, like, what would you like to add your 2 cents to?
It's interesting, like, a lot of places were sort of implying that the next PlayStation wouldn't be that powerful, and that it would mostly be like changing how we play with games, and they gave the example of the share button and all those things like that. But so it was cool to see that they were wrong. It is impressive technically. In fact, like the share part itself is impressive technically, where like the sort of the video processing and all these other types of share type features are all powered by their own chip. That's what they're talking about. And that thing where they're saying how the background downloads work, because there's the chip that does that stuff in the background, separate from game processing and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
Oh yeah, the controller also has like a headphone inject, so I'm wondering how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still like my Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a Bluetooth one.
Especially since sometimes if I'm like moving around a bit, I don't want like my headset to like tug on the controller or vice versa or something and cause all kinds of shenanigans going on there. So
I'll add a new Turtle Beach headset to the list of things to get this holiday with my PS4. ...
I do need a new Bluetooth headset though, so there's that.
Well, it's interesting now, considering, now we know that this is true. What does that say about the rumors about the next Microsoft system, which is supposedly, in a sense, more traditional? I mean, I imagine it's going to be around the same power, but then it's going to focus more on making Xbox Live more of what it is. So more and more providers, having their own TV station on Xbox Live. And it's interesting because I think it was Kaz said, it's like, whoever reveals first is sort of giving away the advantage, because then the next person will just be like, oh, we'll just copy all those features. But, if the sharing features are not just software, they're actually part of the hardware. What is that? I'm interested to see what Microsoft's response is going to be. I mean, it's hard to say, oh, well, look, that stuff sounds cool. Throw out our design here and just these things.
I think they have two plans for a contingency plan for what Sony showed. It's like they have to either, if Sony stayed the same, they'll stay the same as well. But if Sony showed something that they didn't have, they're gonna one up them. No,
really? So you think
problem.
there's enough time for them to change their hardware?
Yeah, they have 2 plants probably, or 3 plants, whatever Sony. So they have something to.
I don't.
Seriously,
you're giving Microsoft way more credit than.
No, let's say Microsoft is focusing on entertainment. What if they show, we're gonna have live TV on the next Xbox? That's big because. I don't know.
Not necessarily though, gamer, because that's the complete antithesis of what Sony showed. They basically said we do not want to get in between the platform that you're playing on and your games. If you're having TV on your platform, that's basically go and do something that's not even part of the
Microsoft
culture that is gaming.
Even about the games anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I think like what PlayStation said today is like they have their design philosophy for this is all around the gamer.
Yeah.
So it's all about removing those barriers between you and the game. So those things like the suspend state, where you can just turn it off and turn it on, and it's right back where you were. Those things are very conscious decisions, I think, that they had to make early on in order to have the hardware support those things. Whereas with Xbox, it feels like their focus now is all about Xbox Live. So it's like, okay, there's only so many gamers. How do we get more people on Xbox Live? And that's why we're seeing, more and more like the ESPN and the UFC stuff and all that. And so, if that's their focus, I find it hard to believe that they would just. Well, I don't know.
Stick with their guns.
Yeah, like right now, I'm seeing a lot of people who are very underwhelmed. They were just like, "Oh, the PS4 is nothing. It's basically the PS3 but with video sharing." And it's like, well,
what? No way.
I mean, in a sense, kind of, but it's not like you can just put video sharing on the PS3 and say this is the PS4. I mean, there was
well,
and I'm not super in the know on all the technical parts about this, but it seems like it's not just a matter of software, and it's not just a matter of more power. It's like, you have to put the hardware together in a certain way. So we have, we have very traditional type hardware, but it's put together in an interesting way that, makes the system more capable than, say, your PC right now. I mean, your PC, you can get you get 8-core? I think you can get an 8-core. You can get top-of-the-line graphics card, but you can't get their type of RAM as your regular system RAM. You can't get another processor in there that's just going to process video for you.
Yeah, I was telling RPG, like the whole contingency plan I had if this if this whole PS4 was something I didn't want, which is not what happened, was I just waited out on PC side and just play on PC version of games because they'd be just as good looking or whatever. But then here we come along with the giant curveball of being able to do all that video editing under the hood in real time and just so much easier and streamlined, where it is on PC it's I have to capture the footage, I have to edit it, I have to render it. It's just way more of a headache than what I saw today at the event. It's okay, I'm going to go that way with PS4.
This actually seems like an innovation. Whereas, they could have easily said, now it captures video really easily, but then you still have to do all the other stuff, it captures video easily, it uploads to YouTube, but if you want to make it all professional and edit it and stuff, then you still have to, capture it onto something else and do it on your PC. It's not like that. They integrated everything in there.
Same thing with the streaming. It's I could buy, or not buy, but I could use my webcam to or download some software program to stream while I play something and blah blah blah. But it's not as easy as just being able to go into my PS4 and be all right, I'm going to stream today, take on this crack out session of Mass Effect, whatever, and 12 hours straight. Let's do this. So yeah. Which is totally coming to YouTube this fall.
Yeah, I was about to say, be expecting that, because that's actually going to happen, guys. So
I will journey into the worlds of Destiny, and I will craft the story as I see fit.
Well, I'm still kind of creeped out by that whole streaming and everything, but it's back to the whole Microsoft thing. I really don't feel like they don't have enough. For one, I don't think they have enough time to do anything major to whatever they're planning to launch, unless they plan on announcing it next year. So I think
they can't.
Since they've been, I'm aware. That's what I'm saying. I think since the past few years they seem to be going more towards Nintendo's route with trying to appeal to more casual fans and people who may not necessarily be, gamers in the sense that we are or whatever. But it's like I feel like they're still gonna probably stick to, now you can do this stuff with your Kinect that's probably going to come standard with their new console or whatever, and then it's just going to be all about their Facebook integrations and all their social medias and entertainment and stuff like that, and they're probably going to take the focus away from the games because, for one, I don't think Microsoft has that strong of a first party compared to Nintendo and Sony. So with that, and now it seems like more and more games are becoming multi-platform now. You don't really have as many exclusives as you used to, so they can't like throw around their money and be like, yeah, you're just going to stay on our console now. So it's like, I don't know if they're going to have enough time to do anything that's going to be big enough to fight back, but I guess at the same time, there are really loyal Xbox fans out there that are probably going to be like, well, Xbox Live is still the superior online service. I'll buy the console just for that. And I don't know. If you want to go waste your money on that crap, that's all I want to do. But I just...
Well, I don't think we can look at it that way. I mean, we have to assume that everyone goes into this game to win. So, but, yeah, it's true. I mean, I think that they were sort of assuming that the way to win is to have more and more features and sort of become like the PC in the living room. And then having, Xbox Live, which, I think with so many fans saying that it is the better network, they believe it themselves. And so they work towards that. And, they're watching what people do on there and say, oh, it's all Netflix. So we'll just change, we'll add these other video streaming services and stuff. And then obviously we're going to have more power. But the thing... Like, I think for 360, their goal was to just get as many partnerships as they can. And we can kind of see that in how they have very few first parties now. And so it seems like a sound strategy. For the next generation, what you do is you release, it's Microsoft, so they're about software. You release software apps to phones and tablets and stuff. And all that stuff integrates with your Xbox, and then your Xbox integrates with your PC, and then we go out and get exclusive titles, and
there's no
that's how they build their next system, and that's how I think. Before today, I would think that is a winning strategy. That's what you do. You go out, and then that's what you do, and the other guy's going to do the same thing, and all you have to do is do it better than them. With enough rumors flying around, say, oh, look, it looks like our tech specs are going to be the same and all that, so it's all going to be about this content, and we're going to win that because we are the better online provider. But, with the sharing thing, and I'm pretty sure, Microsoft can come out and say, yes, our system automatically captures video and does all that, but I don't know if they would have done it from a hardware perspective. I think they would have done it with a software perspective, and in general, in computing, the hardware method is faster or superior.
I guess.
I'd say also, like, Microsoft this gen, as they've, like, just butchered their first party, is, like, just leveraged and leaned more and more on third parties, since you can get, like, all games on all platforms anyway. So it's, like, they don't really rely on exclusives. So I think Sony, starting next gen, will have, like, a leg up just because they have better internal studios versus Microsoft.
Although, could say this, those concerts at E3 this year are going to be awesome! So, there's that to look forward to.
It's weird. It's like, if the specs are so similar between two next-gen systems, like, what is the point of having both?
That's always been my argument.
So you have to choose what side you're on, I guess, with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
But, the next-gen Microsoft system.
Yep.
Whichever one.
They have to announce that the online is free.
Xbox?
No, this is really good.
I don't know.
They like
money. Pays money.
That's
stupid.
They have a lot of dedicated customers. I really don't think them announcing it. They're going to even have to go the route of announcing their online being free because they have millions of subscribers that don't mind paying whatever their fee is every year just to make sure they get the quote-unquote superior online service. So it's like, I don't think that's ever going to really be, like, a thing for them, where it's like, okay, we have to make this free for everybody, guys. Otherwise, we're just gonna fail. So, I think
that's. I've been reading the rumors, or I guess they're from an inside source, but I'd still call them rumors. The guy who claimed that Microsoft only got into the game to mess with Sony, and
well, I wouldn't be surprised.
How their hardware, like the Xbox business, doesn't really. They've never been able to make Sony's model work. And Sony's model is, we lose a ton on the hardware, but we make a ton in royalties on selling software. And so the only money that Xbox is making is from the live service, which they've finally, in the past 3 or 4 years, finally got up to the point where they make money on it. And so, on the one hand, yeah, it seems like you have to announce that it's free. But on the other hand, then what? You know, like, where does that money go now?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
It's okay, I'm not buying the next console from them anyway, so...
Did we talk Kai yet?
No.
Not.
Oh, okay. I'll wait.
We only...
The stream I saw was so choppy that it was just like...
Yeah, you went like low HD for like a split, like 1 minute or 2 minutes. Like, oh, come on, give me a break. Where's the HD stream? I'm clicking everything. Like,
that's I didn't even want to have sound half the time. So
yeah,
I was kind of like
watching a silent film.
I was watching live blogging and stuff at the same time. It was ridiculous.
Oh man.
But it's okay.
Okay, so where were we at then?
We were on the hardware side because that's what they talked about first.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first stuff that they talked about, like when they showed, like before they showed NAC, basically. And then I was talking about how me and you were like, "Is it real time?"
Yeah.
It's like secret real time.
It is.
It's funny because there's been all this talk about previews recently, so. You go into this and it's like, is that real? You know, on the one hand, yes, you need a level of skepticism. But then again, if you do that for everything that's coming out for next gen, you won't believe any of it.
It's true.
And that's the point. It's supposed to be unbelievable because our technology has not allowed us to be there.
Man, it's just like thinking about it in my mind though is like, after seeing the like cities that were in like Watch Dogs and like Killzone, it's just like after seeing those cities, I just cannot wait to see the next GTA on the next gen. It's just will blow my mind. I'm sure it'll be so massive. Or just I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped for next gen. I just cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm already there. I'm on the train. I'm already, like I said, told RPG.
No, I tried to break. It didn't work.
Full speed ahead. Let's pull in the station.
Well, if we're going to jump into that, I actually don't think that they crossed my line. You know, nothing they presented was really beyond what I imagined. Like, the only thing that sort of is there is the separate processor that does background applications. Like, without that, everything that I imagined is pretty much in there. Like, the Gaikai thing, that's what I was thinking that they were going to do. The share button stuff, like, well, okay, the share button stuff, yeah, that's a little bit more than I thought. The games look appropriately amazing, but it's not like, yeah, I mean, my expectation was, you know, cutscenes of today are the gameplay of tomorrow, and that's exactly what we saw.
That was my expectation. Cause I was like, really, Trioptical, I think you're on something, because I don't think games are going to look that good.
But because then it goes back to like the Square Enix thing when they showed off Agnes Philosophy last year or whatever. It was kind of like one of those. It was kind of a similar moment.
Yeah,
where
I was so skeptical. I was like, that's not real time.
It's like, can they really do this in real time? And then when they showed it off this year, after seeing all the other games, it's like, well, okay, so it probably is possible for the game to look like this. So.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like the whole Sony event was just like the gaming industry like vindicating themselves and proving itself to me that, Tekken, you don't know anything. Shut the F up, and we'll take care of you, and you just keep supporting us, and we'll keep you safe. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I get you guys. Gaming industry is not doomed.
I'm gonna go in the corner now.
There's not going to be a second crash like there was in the 80s.
I just had the picture of Tekken being carried away by gaming industry. That bodyguard scene.
Oh boy.
But yeah, beyond that, there still needs to be more, and I'm sort of hopeful that there is going to be more because they sort of kind of talked about the controller and kind of showed off like, wow, there's this stereoscopic camera thing, and they kind of suggested that Move works with the PS4, but yeah,
it was glossed over. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't. So far, they haven't shown me more than one thing that I think was just totally unexpected.
What about the Blizzard thing?
Well,
I have
Diablo 3.
I've played 80 hours of Diablo 3.
I was just about to say,
I'm just saying though,
that game. It's not like a new thing.
I mean, when was the last time you thought Blizzard would come back and be like, okay, after StarCraft's Ghost, which is kind of a black eye for us, we'll maybe do something on consoles.
I thought they're gonna do something new rather than here's just the game we built on PC on consoles.
Yeah,
and they said what killed me is like, we have it on PS3 too. It's like, and why would I get PS4?
Exactly. That's the thing for me. That was like the stroke of genius. Well, I'm not going to get the janky PS3 version. I'm going to get the new hotness PS4 version.
Why would it be janky? Because the one on PC, it's not really graphical powerhouse,
No, the PS3
yeah, spoiled you become already. It's like
for me,
the console hasn't even been released yet, and you're already spoiled. It's like, I don't want this
on PS4
graphics.
Like a stream to the Vita. Like, man.
Look at all these textures and stuff on the PS3. This isn't a PS4 at all. It's like, it's already started. The console hasn't even been released yet. No.
Well, for me, it's not about the textures anymore. It's about the scale. That's what they showed in some of those games. Like, the scale is big.
Many textures.
Either way, I'm still waiting at the station, not hopping on the train yet.
I did not like David Cage's tech demo. It's like, that was the same shit they pulled off for PS3. It's like they showed with Spider-Man 2 or whatever. Here's a light going on his head.
Yeah.
It's like, don't show me that bullshit. That's what they showed for Shenmue. It's like, look great too. It's like, who cares?
Oh yeah, because didn't they kind of do a similar thing when before Heavy Rain was officially announced, where they did the person the chair with the eye movement or whatever kind of thing? So
if my computer wasn't running Windows or anything else, and it was just all devoted to one render, it could do that too.
Well, yes, it could. But yeah.
Well, man, it's going to be all out of order here, so sorry, folks. But the other thing actually that does impress me is the sort of instant gratification part of it, which I guess has to do with that dedicated chip where you can, it's like the last remaining thing that they have to solve. It's like, we want to go all digital, but how do we do it if bandwidth is going to be not there? Everyone is going to have to wait 2 weeks to download a game. Is that how we want it? It's like, no. And so, they have that thing where it's like, the moment you start downloading, that's the moment you can start playing. You don't want to, go out and buy this game in order to figure out if you want it or not? Aliens or whatever? You could just try it, and every game has a trial version, and it's the full. It's like the potential of the full game trial has been reached if you can instantly deliver that full game trial to anyone on a system.
It's interesting because it's like a virtual rental if you think about it. It's just like a giant rental store.
Except it's free.
Exactly. And just the whole. I think the instant thing is cool. If it turns out to actually work, where it's if you just buy it and then after you buy it, as soon as it's downloaded, you can just play it instantly. It's problem solved.
I'm curious as to how the PlayStation Plus is going to factor into stuff like this, though, because how you guys get your time trials or your betas and stuff like that. It's with them doing streaming and all that stuff now, is it are they going to still do similar things where only the PlayStation Plus members can stream a certain amount, or they get certain content before everybody else and that kind of stuff, or is it just open to everybody now, and now it's your PlayStation Plus thing becomes useless unless you're just on a PS3 or something? So
go ahead.
Still having that instant game collection thing is still better. To to pay for the free games and shit.
Well,
Because sure, the game things, like, the trials, I guess, could go away because I don't really use that, because why would I want to download a full game just to play an hour? Kind of weird.
Yeah, I was telling, I think it was Trioptical, he's like, when they're talking about how, like, when you're in the store and it would, like, make an aggregate of all the stuff that you're into and then, like, recommend you stuff, it's like, I don't really mind that because it doesn't really bother me since I already know what I'm looking for anyway, so I guess I'm glad it's there just in the background, but if it wasn't there, it wouldn't bother me if it wasn't, so.
Well, I would rather have the thing where recommend me games I'm not into, because, like, I would never know, whether or not I would be interested.
Because, like Tech was saying, if you're already on there looking for what you're looking for, then it's like it makes more sense for them to recommend you, other stuff instead of. It's like, you might also like this. Well, yes, because I'm downloading it right now. So.
Because, like, what are the chances? Like, say someone just plays first-person shooters all the time. Would Journey even come across their face in the recommendation field? No. But I think it's just gonna be something that's just on the side anyway.
Yeah, the personalization part I didn't really get, and it might be because my stream crashed, but that was it, right? Where they just talked about, it will learn about you, and then everything on your whatever the next gen XMB is going to be tailored to your tastes.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of an evolution of what they had, because like supposedly PS Plus downloads stuff to your system. It did it once. It downloaded the tester from. But that was about it.
Yes, I want to download the beta. How did you
It's like, we also noticed you like pain and suffering. We recommend this. Like, oh.
That was about it. That's all it recommended me, was just giving me the dust beta and that. And that was it. It just stopped after that. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything in forever.
Yeah, it must have been their test bed for that type of content. It's like, oh, you like this? Here's this. But then I guess they stopped for this, so.
I mean, it's kind of like what's happened in music recently with like Pandora and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And a few people have tried to do it with games. So like Penny Arcade, they released an app on the iPhone that sort of figures out, or it's like a recommendation engine. You sort of shake it, and then it tells you, what game should I play next? And then recently someone announced one for Steam games. It's like Crush Media or something like that. And it's like you play this simple game where the object of the game is to save the games that you want to save. So, for example, it shows you 3 games, like Torchlight, Metro, and Company of Heroes. And they're all about to get burned, and you have to save them.
Oh, no.
But you can only save one of them. And then you play this a few times, and then it decides, maybe you would like to play this game, and it recommends it to you on Steam. And so this is sort of, I guess, it feels like they were inspired by this trend, and maybe they're going to do that. But yeah, I think that's an interesting problem that they're going to have to solve. How do they recommend games that are totally left field for you, that maybe you will like them?
Yeah, because it's also points to the part they talked about, like the indie and the free-to-play stuff. So if they have like that stuff more and more on the marketplace, it's like the signal-to-noise ratio could get out of hand. So I guess maybe that's how they try to counteract that somehow.
That is going to be very interesting.
So, Gamer, I wanted to ask you, since you're like the Wii U owner here, like the lone one.
Yeah, the only one.
I was this close.
after they showed like the social stuff and the like remote play stuff, did it make you seem, or did like any of that make you feel like, oh, this is so much better than the Miiverse?
No, I think Miiverse is still better as a social app thing, but because they didn't really show much of the social stuff. They just showed that wall full of interaction.
No, I mean like the whole part when like someone can like watch you play a game, or like how you can like watch your friends play a game, or like just jump straight into their game when they're like playing a game.
Yeah, that's totally different though. That's like This one is just like, oh, you play the game, you want to interact with other people that have played the game as well. This one's like you're watching other people play. You just want to be a spectator, like they said.
I think what Tekken is, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you're drawing a connection between that part where, like in was it Zombie U? When they were showing like the demos of Zombie U, and it was like, oh, I'm stuck on this part, how do I do it? And you post it on the wall, and then someone else posts back, and it's like, oh, that's how you do it. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, I'm stuck on this part, here, other person.
Like, do it for me.
All the way.
So you can either like go to someone that's at that part in the game and watch them, or like have them come into your game and just play it for you. It's like, wow.
Which is, you know what, to be honest, like, I could just like, let's just say, I'm going to press the PlayStation button, go in the internet browser, go to a FAQ. It's like...
it's true. It is smooth, but I guess it kind of streamlines
interesting
the process.
Functionality, but it's like, I don't get what's the point of having someone else play it for you.
Well, like, remember when Trioptical said he sucks at games? Well, maybe he might come to a point where it's like, there's somebody better at this, so,
Sitting around, playing Street Fighter, and it's like, oh crap, I got a fight request. Tekken, help me!
Exactly. And it's like, he could like be sucking in the first round, then all of a sudden Tekken jumps in, he's like, I got this, and then beats the crap out of the guy, and he's like, yay! I got a win under my belt, even though it was...
I gotta do all the time.
It's like he was losing so much the first round. What just happened? So,
I was playing with one hand before.
I think it's gonna be interesting for developers because they could use that as like sort of like they could look at what other people are doing at a certain point. Like, oh, they thought, our focus testing didn't go that well. So let's look at other people playing and see what we could change and tweak.
It's like a real expanded focus test.
That would be crazy.
Like, so many people are having a hard time in the Radic fight in Killzone 2. Let's tweak it so that he'll have less health. Because everyone's having a hard time. It's like, oh man, the possibilities. Like,
that would be useful. The whole live feedback thing.
That would be a lot like what the PC world is like now, where there's a lot of back and forth between developers and gamers. But this would be like instant. And
oh man, that'd be cool if you could like watch a developer play their game and be like give a walkthrough of a tricky section. That'd be so cool.
Or they could show you Easter eggs and tricks and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
So the question is though, so we all saw the stream and it was okay. I wasn't able to watch all of it in HD. RPG didn't watch most of it with sound.
Yeah, so...
How are they going to make this fastest gaming network in the world in... How long do they have before launch? Like 10 months.
I think they said they did say it's in phases, so it could be the easy stuff first. Like, what's the easy stuff first? The Vita functionality, because that's local, so they could do that first. Probably like the later phases are the ones where you'll be able to stream PS4 games to anywhere. I guess they said, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's the other thing I was asking you about. Like, they even tried to brought this up in the conference thing. Like, they even use like the same ad pitch. Like, oh, my kids want to play now. I'll just stream it to my Vita. And do you think that was like? And do you think that's on par with the stuff with the gamepad?
Yeah, I think that for me that functionality killed the Wii U for third-party support. It's like, why release on the Wii U? You could just release it on much powerful hardware.
Yeah, although because they already
100% of the time. Let's say.
Because that functionality was kind of already hinted at with the PS3, so it's like if it's already
they were testing it. What was the games? Shadow of Colossus and God of War. They were testing the lower latency feeds. And it worked. Sure, it was a bit choppy because that was just the PS3 hardware. But now they have a dedicated chip to do that for you. It's like, oh man.
So it all rests on Gaikai. Man, no wonder they spent so much money on it. You remember how much OnLive was bought for? It's like a fraction, pennies on the dollar for what Gaikai was bought for.
Is OnLive still alive?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
But your Microsoft's gonna buy them.
That was stupid.
Oh,
because OnLive's thing. Most of OnLive's features are what are the features in PS4.
Yeah.
Like watching someone play. I think that's about it. Or the instant... I think the instant upload thing was on live as well, wasn't it? Or no?
Well, it wasn't because on live all happens on their server, so essentially it's already uploaded.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, like, it sounds super awesome, and yeah, this would be two things that I think are awesome. But the second thing, I cannot imagine how it will be accomplished with, ISPs being the way they are now. It's like, just cap, and now you can't get your bandwidth, and what's the other thing?
Time to move to Kansas City.
It's like, what do they mean by building the fastest gaming network in the world? Does that mean actually building that network?
Yes. Grab your hammers.
Are they going to run fiber across the ocean floor? Or, maybe software is way more powerful than I think it is. And somehow they can just... Yeah, maybe they could build that network.
Yeah, they have to partner up with someone, I guess.
They just go, to the internet hubs and sort of rent out space and put in servers all over the planet. And just drown out everyone else's networks. I don't know. Still, yeah, if in the perfect world, this would be really amazing.
Yeah, well, this isn't a perfect world, Trioptical. Sorry.
I guess since we're done with all the tech stuff, we can get into the games. So the first one was the Killzone. What was it?
Shadowfall.
It was Knack.
Oh yeah, Knack.
Too.
My bad.
Bad.
Well, we kind of talked about that, but let's talk about Knack. So that looks interesting.
Okay.
What is it?
Looks like
it's some sort of third-person character game.
Yeah, it's like imagine Forsaken Kingdom, but you're controlling the big dude. Or the small dude that becomes big, but then could turn small when he goes through lasers and shit.
Yes, that makes sense in context. But yeah,
it's like he collects stuff. I guess the little dude.
Yeah, he
that's what I thought. I thought it was going to be like Katamari, except you are the Katamari and you have arms and legs. And you run
looking at the footage, he breaks a lot.
Yeah.
Why does that sound familiar? I feel like I've played something like that before. But I don't know. I'll probably figure it out.
Is it like Loco Roco where they break into little pieces to go through something and then they recombine together to become one big blob?
Yeah. That'd be Loco Roco.
It's an interesting concept. It seems like it's from the makers of what's that? Ape Escape. Because it seemed like the art style was familiar.
Oh, we need a new Ape Escape game. I love Ape Escape.
Yeah, it was interesting.
The people I follow on Twitter. So cynical.
I didn't tweet anything.
There has to be some. I mean,
I really think Sony threw that PS4 preview together to assure jittery investors after the big loss in stock value this month. I didn't like the PS4. It was a great press conference, but I didn't see anything fresh or unique beyond the amazing visuals.
I mean,
I want to smack that person.
I feel though, so it's not like
what is fresh? What is new?
The video editing stuff.
No, other than that, what is fresh?
You can't say other than that, gamer. You can't say that count.
Them, what is fresh and new?
I think he's talking about what they were saying.
What's a new experience that we haven't seen yet? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I guess
Oculus Rift.
Looking at the games, it's like, oh, this is a 3D platformer. This is a shooter. This is an open world 3D platformer. This is a racing game.
Yeah.
So if you're going to look at it that broadly, yeah, there was nothing new.
But did they see that Media Malco game where they could craft anything from that block and then you could play with it? That's crazy.
Well, I guess in general, overall for a lot of stuff they showed is you've seen kill zones before, and they showed a new kill zone, and it's the Agni philosophy thing, like you said, we've already seen the video, and then you had Watch Dogs, we already saw that last year at E3, so I think it's more of it's like they didn't bring like a whole bunch of new like titles in general. It's like it was just showing off, stuff that we kind of already had an idea was on there. Not so much as they weren't saying that, or like for like unique or that kind of.
I don't know. I think the truth is that most people, they want something new, but they don't know what it is. They just know. They'll know it when they see it. But I think a lot of those people are not. Yeah, I think there's actually sort of a level of game connoisseurs now, whereas there's lots of people who look at shooters and just say, oh, they're all the same. Whereas, people who play a lot of games are like, well, they're actually all kind of different from each other. They feel different. They got different mechanics. They look different. There's lots of differences between shooters, like Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty. They look really similar, and a lot of people would just be like, oh, they're two military shooters. But for the people who really look into these things, it's like, well, yeah, on the surface, they're two military shooters, but beyond that, there's a lot more to them.
I guess.
RPG is not a connoisseur of shooters.
Well,
yeah, that's how I feel about JRPGs. I feel like they're all just variations with like the same minutia of mechanics in them.
You clearly haven't played any of them. So you've been playing Mass Effect, so
you would know that from RPGs like Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Iberia seem like very similar games to me.
However,
you see, you would have something to say about that. And I think, now there is a level.
No, I was agreeing with you, Tropical. I was saying, like, yeah, their games are, like, really similar, but there's, like, differences. Like, they're very, very small and minute, like the minutia.
No, I was trying to convince RPG that
okay.
maybe, or whatever it was he said. I forgot. I've been drinking. But,
yeah, I thought.
So he was drinking.
I told you the bottle.
Like, I saw him pouring it into his mug. That's not how
I didn't have my Google thingy open the whole time. I just heard you were cleaning heard you say you're cleaning out your refrigerator. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw you drink out of a mug, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's in that. And I was like,
He was getting sauced, getting the party started early. Assault.
Wow, Tropical's a very coherent drunk, by the way. I'm starting to wonder if he was even injured that whole time. He told us he had issues speaking because he was just like, "Oh, I'm just taking a drink for the podcast,
Aimless aside, I had wisdom teeth removed.
Nice.
I figured that's what happened. So,
and my doctor was born and was like, "Oh, it seems like it's all the right time," and I went. And you know how these things are. It's a surgeon. He gives you a sheet of paper and says, here are the things that could happen to you, but they're so rare that you shouldn't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So you sign it, and then you wake up, and you can't feel a fourth of your mouth. It's like, okay, Novocaine, whatever. I waited 2 days, and it was still all numb.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like, what is going on here? And we called, and they're like, yeah, so that thing that we talked about?
It happened.
Like 2% of people, which is you.
Congratulations.
So, so there's nothing really we can do. I mean, basically, in 6 months, if it doesn't get better, then we know something is wrong.
Like, oh, really? Is that how that works?
So I'm sitting here... Even right now, like, I can't feel a fourth of my mouth.
Wow.
And it's taken some getting used to. Like, as recent as 2 days ago, I really bit through my lip.
Oh,
ouch.
Ow.
It was like, oh, crap, did I just bite my lip? And I was like, you did. It was like, dang. Like, well, at least it doesn't hurt. But I think it's starting to smell.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird about being numb. It's like, you could tell your body to do it, but then you won't feel it. That's like the weirdest sensation ever. Man.
It is messed up. So, like, right now, it's my teeth under that part of my lip, they're sort of in constant pain, I guess. It's like really uncomfortable. And then the lip on the outside is just totally numb, except it's kind of swollen right now because I bit myself eating, I think it was like sourdough bread with melted cheese on it.
That'll do it.
It was just like, I bit really hard and I was like, and then I sort of tasted blood. I was like, dang.
It's like, what cheese tastes like at all? No, it is not.
So, yeah, but other than that, well, the talking, that's gotten easier, I think. Still feels weird, but,
at least you don't sound slurry. Tekken and I were trying to, if we were going to try to get you on here so we could see what you would sound like when you were...
I'm going to sign. I'm going to try my PS3, PS4. Originally, I couldn't make the P sound, because I couldn't... You know, you need your lips. You need your lips. It's like, puffy.
Yeah, you'll be sounding like those Japanese dudes on the stream. I kid. They tried their best.
They tried their best. Yeah,
I was relieved when Ono switched to the translator. I was like, thank you.
Actually, Trioptical said that him and the translator dude weren't even saying the same thing, which was crazy.
Oh, really?
Everything in the same vein. Like the part where he said, so in the past few years, he said, we have a new engine, and this is the engine we've been working on for next generation or something. And the thing that Ono said was actually, we've been using MT Framework for the past few years. And it was just like, what? That wasn't a translation. That was like the continuation of what he's going to say.
But then, like I was saying, I was like, Trioptical's the only person I would notice that because he knows both languages. Like, for those of us who only know English, it's like, well, we only hear this one thing. So.
It just seems weird. It's like, if you're going to go on script in English, then let the guy speaking English do it. You're just wasting time.
Oh, geez, here's some details coming out. The PS4i specs, 1280 by 800, 60 FPS, 4 mics.
Wow.
Mics?
Why?
For what?
Very for omnidirectional.
Oh God.
Microphones.
It's like it's funny now until E3 comes around.
IR camera?
Oh, dude, RPG. I just had the... Gamer, why did you have to bring this up? See, I was all like happy, bunnies and roses and rainbows and unicorns, and then just like... I'm now, like, thinking, what if this is all just a big ploy, and at E3, they just pull the rug out from under us, and like, you thought the Connect trade was bad, and just
like, here we go. Here's Sony animals.
You know what? I don't think they're gonna use it. I think they're using this just as the when you stream yourself.
Well, it looks like it's just for,
controller.
Yeah, I mean, the controller thing, because it doesn't. The way Kinect works is that it has to project those, beams of light, and that's how it looks. Whereas with this one, it looks like it's just looking at where your controller is.
Yeah, it's weird. The controller having a move thing on it, like, what's that gonna be used for? I don't get it.
It will be.
So it know where you're at, and the camera will like move like the Kinect does, but it'll be like better at it, and be like, "Oh, there you are. Let me look at you and scan the bone density before I harvest."
I know, right? I was about to say, like, why is it doing this? What's going on?
But it's just like, crap. Oh yeah, no. The thing that
I'm sorry. Why does it have the camera Trioptical? Remember.
Oh God. That's why we can't have nice things.
The thing that PlayStation they've been talking about a lot in the recent years is augmented reality, which seems to have been some of their most, at least critically acclaimed stuff, as far as motion control and stuff like that. And so with this, I mean, having such a high resolution probably has something to do with the thing where everyone says, the augmented reality is really cool, but the PlayStation Eye is so crappy that you're just looking at this crappy image of yourself on the screen.
See, Trioptical, you just gave me hope there, because maybe at E3 they could also pull an identify out and be like, we brought it back.
Boy, you are determined to get that, aren't you?
Like, we have a camera, and there's a reason for that. And it
has microphones, so...
Hello, Tekken. Let's go hunt down some bad guys. Okay, Dorothy, let's go do it.
Let the dream die. Just let the dream die.
See, RPG, we have new consoles. E3, anything can happen. I can totally just go back to Crazy Town, and who knows?
No.
Fantasyland, I love it.
It's not happening. Let it go.
Me and Motoko Kusanagi, helper lady from Identify, who I'm going to name Dorothy, because, yeah, gonna happen.
Nope. I don't think it is. I just think you're wrong, and you shouldn't get your hopes up. Believe.
So...
I don't.
Do you think the eye is going to be bundled in?
It better be.
I don't know. Could be.
That's the other fear. Multiple SKUs.
Yeah, because on the one hand, like, the controller has move thing built in. But then you don't necessarily need move for every game, so maybe they wouldn't bundle in the controller, or the eye, and you could just play the traditional controller games.
But
I don't know.
But that would kill the functionality of it, though.
Yeah.
Not having it there.
Not to mention, people are probably going to be skeptical about buying it separately anyway, considering past support for their peripherals. So it's like, I don't think if they're like, oh, okay, you can now buy this new Eye and the new Eye of Judgment that we're not going to support anymore right after it's released, and then next thing you know, now people are not going to buy your camera peripheral because now they don't know if you're going to actually support it like you had so much support for your iToy or your PSI or your Move controllers and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it would be a good idea not to bundle it in.
But if you look at the Media Molecule demo, they were moving the Move controllers for the PS3, so it might just be backwards compatibility with the old tech, too.
I kind of groaned when I saw that. It's like, oh, God.
Move on the
really?
PS4?
Yeah. But what they're developing is a step above Little Big Planet. It's like, wow,
yeah,
great. Make anything, and you could animate it. Like, oh, wow, that's great.
Now, if only I had animation skills.
I know, right? Everything they produce is like, holy shit. It's like
now I'm going to have to go call my own dev team. It's like, all right, guys, this is what I want to happen. So,
this is my dream.
So go ahead and make this happen, because I can't do it myself. So,
or you could, boot up the stream software RPG and be like, all right, people,
that's
teach you how to draw.
Like, here, Media Molecule.
Let's do it.
My game for me. It's like, see, guys, this is what I would have made.
RPG, the evil director of the Move game. No, that hat is not round enough, damn it.
It's like, I can't hit you right now, otherwise, ooh. But yeah, that could work for their streaming too. It's like, well, I'm stuck trying to animate this. Media Molecule, just go ahead. Just this is what I want. Just make it happen.
We're going to outsource our skills.
Like, here are my stick figure drawings of what I want to look.
Oh, and that's what they can do with the remote access thing.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home, it's like, hey, developers out there, I need to make this stream. Or anyone with the skills.
It's like, and you can do it for me.
So they take over your console for hours and hours to make your animation.
And then you come back and take the credit for it even though you didn't do anything. Yes, this is what I made. Be jealous of me.
Awesome.
Yeah. That is a convenient kind of mechanic for the games in general, though. I still don't know how I feel about strangers getting all up inside my console.
Well, hopefully they'll have privacy settings. Like,
well, I'm sure after the whole external intrusion debacle, they will.
Everything.
It's like, you're not supposed to be spectating me. I'm calling support. Sony, why is this a stranger in my stream?
It's because we let them in. It's like, oh, really? Like Watch Dogs says, everything is connected. This power.
The irony of that.
I know.
And that game.
If you're streaming tech, we're just gonna spam your comments. We're like, press the red button.
I know, right? It's like right there. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's a door. What are we gonna do? It's like, oh, he got through it. Oh look, there's a red button. Is it for the next door?
We're just gonna troll him the entire way.
Oh, the possibilities.
Anyway, so yeah.
I'm not gonna go what I just thought, but that'd be interesting to have celebrity streaming and watch them play games and Or if they're like a voice actor, just have them like break out their voice for their character while they're playing. Like,
Wow.
I'm gonna be Fimship while I'm playing this game that's not
like,
Mass Effect.
Just imagine like having like I think someone said it before, like developer walkthroughs have like
so
just watch them play, like explain shit. Like, oh man,
I would
great.
This could work well for like drop in and drop out stuff too, for like games that have like squad based stuff or anything. Just have like your friends come in, they like see you playing, and it's like, oh, let me help you out here, and then they just join in as one of your teammates or something, and kind of help you through stuff as well. So now every game can have.
Gosh.
Jeez, man, that's a good idea. Especially that instant stuff they're talking about too.
Yep.
Like, oh, I don't have that game. I'll buy it right now, $50. I mean,
oh man, be a very good effect.
You think I have a lot of games now?
I gotta join them. It's gonna like break my backlog rule. I was like, I gotta join my friends. I can't just let them play
but
alone.
for me, it's like you still can't bring me to digital. There's no freaking way. I'm not storing.
Yeah, I'm still not on the
everything.
digital train. I'm not a fan of that. I still need my physical for everything. I don't know. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Demo is okay. Stream that shit to me all the time.
Yeah, that I don't mind. It's like it took like 2 hours to download a demo, and then it's like you get like 10 minutes of gameplay. And it's like really.
I kind of scoffed. I laughed when the guy said we use a chip for background downloading. It's like, what? But Xbox does it right away. Like the same. I guess it was like different functionality.
Well, I think the thing he was talking about was, wasn't it like the instant background download? Like on the Xbox, you can background download, but you can't play the game you're downloading as you're downloading it.
Or you can't be playing a game as you download something else.
Well, you can't.
I still think that's a weird concept, like streaming game as it's downloading. But wouldn't that interfere with the streaming or the downloading?
Well, it's kind of like, isn't it kind of like watching a video while you download it?
That's why they bought Gaikai Gamer. Don't worry.
You would be playing through Gaikai.
They'll take care of it.
Well, no, because like what it is, actually, I'm not really sure how.
It's a weird concept, like playing something as it's downloading, so that when it finishes, you go to that instead. Man, weird.
I mean, I guess it can't be instant. It's going to have to take at least a little bit of time, but it's not going to be like the downloads that we sit through now, where it's like, oh, preload Mass Effect 2, and it takes a day.
Yeah. But they have the thing for videos, when I'm downloading a video on the store, they say, oh, you can play it now, but it has to download the first bits. But that's video. Yeah. That's different than a game, where everything has to be there for it to work, you know?
Wow, I just thought something. That is, like, actually one thing something does better than Steam is, like, if you're downloading a game and you're playing it as it downloads, like, you can't do that on Steam. So, score one for Sony against Valve.
I think, like, the way they described it, I guess part of the problem is that your processor is engaged in the download part. And we all know one processor, you know, multitasking is an illusion. Your processor actually just goes back and forth fast enough that you don't know that it's doing one thing at a time. And so with this second processor, then it actually is multitasking. Yeah. And so that's part of the problem. And then the other part, I guess, is just like, how do you get the stuff that you need in order to just play the game before you have everything? Like, you have to prioritize which parts are most important. Or, it could be a Gaikai thing, where it's like, it switches seamlessly from Gaikai to whatever state your game was in Gaikai, and it switches to your downloaded version the moment it's ready. That would be really hard.
Yeah, that's crazy fact right there.
Anything that they do, it would have to be... Like, I think that's what's so clever here, is that a lot of the stuff is hardware. It's all in the hardware, which means that at the most basic level, developers don't even have to think about it. It's just like, oh, it's just going to work, so we don't have to, you know, build this system ourselves or code this game to do this thing. It's just going to work if we follow, you know, whatever development standards that we have to follow for the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Killzone.
He said words.
I concur.
Killzone is pretty.
It has basically. It's like there was a building.
Bullet time, maybe.
I had that moment where it's like, is this another CG demo?
Yeah, that's what I think RPG brought that back up. Like we were all having like, this has happened before. Are we getting fooled again?
Because I saw like a dude before they started playing it. I saw the dude in the corner. It's like he has the controller in his hand. But I was like, oh, I don't know.
Microsoft has done this before as well.
Really sneaky and do it.
But then I saw, looks like Killzone.
Yeah, see, what I told Trioptical was like when like you were like the beginning of the demo when you're like just walking around, there's like no HUD. I was like, okay, there's no HUD, so but then later on like it actually pops up and it's like, okay, this is real time. So
well, the other thing was it was like the animations of some of the characters was sort of janky. And I was like, well, if this is CG, either they're working really hard to fool us into thinking it's real and they did janky animations on purpose.
Which is kind of
it's probably real time. And then later, like, there's actually a texture glitch where, like, the texture disappeared for a second.
Oh.
And I was like, So either they put that in there on purpose, and people are going to look at it and be like, oh!
Like, you really are.
I also noticed
the blue bar at the bottom.
Some of the NPCs have the same face.
Yeah. It's like, you would have to be pretty paranoid to think that it's not real time, because then you're going into the knowing that I know that he knows that they know that we know that this. Oh no!
But I mean, one would have to wonder, would they really go through all that trouble just to fool people into thinking that's what it?
Hey, we played Aliens, man. It's like anything can happen. It's like
that's true.
Like, what happened there?
That's right. Fuck you, aliens. Fuck you. You screwed everything for me in game.
Oh, my. Wow. Well, alrighty then.
Bait and switch.
Andy's back.
Now I want to play it.
Yeah, it's funny, like, watching that Killzone demo the whole time. I was like, yeah, I don't care about this game, but, like, I just couldn't stop looking at the backgrounds. I was like, it looks like it's not just a crappy texture that's been pasted in the background. It's, like, actually stuff in the background.
I was just wondering, can Mass Effect look this good?
Exactly.
Dude, that's the thing. Like the whole time I was watching that, I didn't even care about the game. I was like thinking of like the application of like other games, use like in-game looking that good on engines. I was like, if this was like a cityscape, Deus Ex, it was like, or just like if I was like another open world game, and I was like Cyberpunk, and it was all like the city and all the flying cars, and I was like, oh, it looks so kind of futuristic, and oh my gosh, just. It blew me away.
I mean, to be fair, I was kind of doing the same thing, except for, like, Final Fantasy instead. I was just like, I wonder what... It's like, this looks great. I wonder what the next Final Fantasy is going to look like. I mean, I wasn't really, like, focused on the games they were showing either, so it's like I'm kind of guilty of the same thing as Tekken on that front, but it's like... It's like, I'm not going to... Because I even said during the screen, I was like, I'm not going to buy Killzone. Why do I even care what's going on right now? So it's like, it's kind of just like, I wonder what the games I want to play are going to look like when they... get around to doing them, so
that's fun. I love Tekken's slurp. I can't do it with my I don't think I could ever do it.
I don't think I could ever do it. Not have your mouth like nope. So that's not helping.
That's such an awesome sound effect. We need to record that.
Oh no, it's kind of creepy. He's all slurping and stuff. He's like that old guy that hits on young girls.
I just thought something like so RPG has like the hater pants. I have like my hype cup that I fill up and I just slurp from it when I'm super excited.
Oh, you know what? I wish you didn't say that.
No.
Oh,
you don't want to drink from my hype cup, gamer? You're not hyped. You're not hyped enough to drink.
I had a dirty image in my head.
Yeah, you should have because I told you. Yeah.
Did you see like the smoke trails and like the volumetric clouds and?
Oh, I know the God rays and the lens flare and just.
It's like the missile launcher trails or whatever. They look like from the CG render they did so long ago. It's like wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then like Trioptical was like, "See, I told you, CG from last gen looks like in-game resolution." And I was like, "No, but it looks so good. I want to play it now." And just after that, it was just like got my ticket, hype train, Bill. Let's go.
So I'm a bit disappointed that Guerrilla's still working on Killzones. Like I wish they would work on something else, but it's like, man.
But do they have any like other franchises that they've done before?
They said they were working on a new IP that was like an RPG or something.
Oh. Because sometimes I think with like some companies, if you have like one franchise that you've been doing for so long, it's kind of hard to just be like, okay, well I'm just gonna do something new now, and then what if
this looks like a prequel, doesn't it?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
No, because he said that the Helgens had evolved. So, and it was at Vector City, but it's possible that it could be since like it wasn't just like full all like the Helgens hadn't like been exiled yet and like just wanted to kill the humans. So.
Actually, this part was really cool because I think we talked about it where it was just like there were no sequels. I mean, they're sequels, but they weren't announced as Killzone 4. This is Infamous 3. This is, I guess, Diablo 3 is the third one. That's the first one on console.
It's a port, so it's like.
But yeah, like everything was whatever and subtitle. I was like, oh, that is refreshing.
Although it's possible they were all just spin-offs though, so don't get too excited.
Well, I guess they don't want to alienate new people from trying the game.
Yeah, usually you have new IP, and they're like, well, we need some of our strong old IP, so we'll just not number them, and people will just be like, oh, this is the first one.
Yeah.
Except it's not.
So what do you guys think of Drive Club? I was kind of unimpressed.
I was visually unimpressed with the name of it.
Because it's like, man, Gran Turismo 5 renders it fine in photo mode, though. But that's okay. That's different. But it's like they do it just as good.
Except for shadows.
Yeah, except for shadows in the Alpha Effects.
I mean, I guess I missed this part. So can you summarize like what is special about Drive Club? We know it looks good. There's nothing special about it.
You just playing clubs.
So it's basically like Midnight Club, except they'd call it Drive Club on the PS4.
About getting
it seemed like there was more of a focus on like co-op and like being in a club with your friends. So.
Oh, here's a challenge. I like the demo reel they were showing. It kept on interrupting the guy as he was playing. Like he's playing the game. That says, "Oh, here's a new challenge." He accepts it. Oh, he invited you to a club. Oh, accept. Oh, he invited you to a race. Accept. It's like just a lot of interrupts as the guy's playing. So maybe that's the concept they're going for.
This is like an MMO with cars or something. Is what's going on there?
It's like Autolog, but completely integrated into the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
The guy said it's their love, so that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, it's like they've been wanting to do it for like 9 years or something crazy.
Holy crap. It's a long time.
I guess the other thing was, what do you think about the first-person perspective, where it's just everything is first-person?
That was sweet. I liked it. I was like, ooh, this is like what Grid was before they took it out.
Oh, no.
Really? Grid had the seatbelt thing?
No, they just like their first-person view was like really good though. But I think Project Gotham Racing had that before them, so... Or just like the good cockpit view.
Yeah. But I think like they went beyond it is what they were showing, where it's like, oh, you can walk around the car and you can get in the car.
Yeah, I think Forza had that too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that when they were all like, "Ooh, look at the steering wheel! It's so leathery."
Thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to virtually duck next to my car and look at its bumper. Paint.
And then it was from the people who do that one game, Trioptical. You're like, oh, it's
that
new.
What
you call it?
Really? That narrows it down.
Was it the Infamous?
No. The what's that racing game? Moto something Storm.
MotorStorm. They did Drive Club.
Yeah, but you like wanted it to be a new MotorStorm.
Oh yeah, I wish it was a new MotorStorm.
For me, I wish it was a new Wipeout. Because they integrated, because remember Liverpool closed, so like they integrated some staff from there. So I was hoping for a Wipeout.
I'm predicting a downloadable PS4 game, eventually.
Wipeout?
Yep.
I was thinking, well, the thing I keep saying is that last gen's renders are next gen's gameplay. Last gen's renders of MotorStorm were amazing.
Yeah.
Now I want to play that game.
No.
Hey, there could be crashes in this one. Drive Club could have some crashes.
No. Well, I want the mud on the windshield, and you wipe.
On the wipers.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's what MotorStorm will look like on the PS4. Oh man!
Great, now he's all excited again.
But yeah. Next was it Infamous next?
Yep.
Yeah.
Infamous Second Son.
Which
I think
not very much was shown. See, this one, it's like I'm so sure that it was like pre-rendered, but then like in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe it was in engine.
They didn't really show anything that seemed like it would have been gameplay. So I feel like
that
would have been just a.
That's why I felt it was just
a trailer. Yeah, so.
But then like, man, all these games are looking really effing awesome. It could totally be in game, dude.
I mean, it's not to say that couldn't be what it looks like. It's just that it's likely that was just like a cutscene trailer or something.
It looks like in game.
Again, everything could look like it was in game. Trioptical.
It's not perfect enough.
Only you would notice these things. Because I was looking at stuff and I wasn't like, there's a pixel off here.
Oh yeah,
so.
by the way, a lot of these trailers are now on YouTube, so you can watch them in high definition.
What?
Yes, compressed high definition.
Compressed high definition.
Give me the press files. Give me 1080-bit streams and. But yeah, it's like the thing is like because like sure they didn't show any gameplay, but it's like the possibility is like this guy teleports a lot. It's like how will that work?
well, Nyx teleported a lot in the last Infamous. It's probably something similar to her mechanic.
Oh yeah, that's cool. But it was cool. It's like the particles too. It was like he was like reforming and forming. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be freaking awesome.
But it might be like an alternate continuity or whatever.
Wait, where did it say it's located in? The location?
Yeah, well, it didn't say, but there was the Space Needle was in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
That's Seattle? Is that where that is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I'm just watching it now, but so far, there doesn't seem to be too much to be excited about.
Yeah.
For this one.
Because they didn't really show anything.
I mean, like, looking good is sort of a given, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving on.
So yeah, Jonathan Blow came out and then showed a very Myst-like game in The Witness.
Yeah, that was big. That was a big screw you to Microsoft. Because Microsoft recently announced that they're going to discontinue XNA or discontinue support for XNA. So it's like, where would indie developers go? It's like, oh, I'm an indie developer. I'm developing for PS4, so come to Sony if you want indie titles. And plus, they've been they announced yesterday or 2 days ago, like Hotline Miami is an indie game coming for PS3 and Vita. It's like, just come here for your indie goods. Don't go to the other platform.
Okay,
so I heard something interesting at this point, and I don't know if they elaborated on it because my stream was all messed up, but it says something about self-publishing is something that they're providing on PlayStation 4.
Really?
Did anyone...
When was this? Was this in the stream?
Yeah, this was in the stream, right before Jonathan Blow's part. I was like, what? This is something about self-publishing.
I think mine cut out. Mine went to black. I was like, what the hell happened? That's right.
But yeah, I don't know if they elaborated, because I've been saying that maybe they do something like PlayStation Mobile for PlayStation 4. Sort of like...
Well, I'm looking at Kotaku's live blog right now, and it says self-publishing will be allowed on PSN. Not sure if that's news in whatchamacallit.
Okay, so they didn't really elaborate on it then, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's significant, because recently, since The Witness was first shown, Jonathan Blow has been very coy about what it's going to be on. And at one point, he did say something about next generation, and now we know, it's PS4. So, and he said, it's not, as far as consoles, PS4 is the only one that's going to have it initially.
Yeah, I didn't think they say it's exclusive, so I think they said it's going to launch on PS4, when it comes out eventually.
Yeah, he said it was like Premiere will be on the PS4 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm really curious to hear more about the self-publishing thing because like PS3 has self-publishing. So how are they going to make it better? You know, like everyone says, oh, the App Store and Apple, like sort of the opening up of development is the thing that's going on right now. And if Ouya shows anything, that's something that people are interested in. You know, who cares if Ouya succeeds or not? Just the fact that they raised that much money proves that some people are, there's more people interested in making games than are actually making games.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man,
so yeah, if that's part of PS4, that will be crazy.
Well, they did like mention it earlier, but they didn't go into the details about like how they'd have a bigger like indie and free to play presence on the platform.
I just hope they don't like hide it like what Microsoft did with indies.
I mean, on the one hand, I do think they need to curate. Like, no one wants the Apple App Store on their console.
True. Yeah.
But on the other hand,
I think what they're doing,
you gotta give people chances.
What they're doing now with PS3, like their independent games is good enough. Like they're selecting a few. Sure, it's only a couple, but like they're good stuff. The games I've played, it's like wow. They've sampled a good amount of I can't say that word. In development.
Independent.
Whatever.
That.
They have a good amount of those titles. Like I like their selection. So. If they keep it that way, then I'm happy.
I hope. Actually, the sort of going off on a tangent here. Recently they were talking about how they're going to curate, and they talked about how almost every store is sorted by most popular, most downloads, most revenue. And they're thinking, like, well, there's better ways to, track engagement than that. And so they're talking about tracking things like, oh, this was the first game. Most people played this game first when they turned on their console. Most people have been playing this game today. And so I think, there needs to be sort of new ways to curate that are semi-automatic. Because I don't think anyone can sit there and play everything. Also, I've been corrected of my view. I used to think that everyone had good game ideas, and the indie game channel showed me that that's not true. So
do you still believe in the like binary of some people just want to make a good game and some people just want to make money?
Yep.
Or
I still believe in that because that's sort of dependent on the fact that not everyone has good ideas. A lot of people are just like, we don't have a good idea yet, so we're just going to make this crap one, make some money, and then maybe when we have money, we'll have a good idea and we can make a good one. No. So
yeah. Next part in the conference was David Cage came out and was like, 15,000 polygons is where we started out, blah, blah, blah. Here's our tech demo of this dude's face. He's all old looking.
Wait, did he say how many polygons the face was constructed of?
I don't believe he did. He's like, here's our new engine, and look how awesome it looks.
I just remember we were sitting there saying, we don't care about polygons.
I don't, not anymore. Who cares?
Yeah, he was like, you don't need to worry about how much horsepower it has because you can look into their eyes and tell if they're lying, or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Is that what he said for Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
Dude is far above his head, seriously.
It's funny though, 'cause like when he said that, it totally made me think of L.A. Noire and how I can't tell if they're lying or not. Yeah. It does look pretty. It's like, I can't tell still. Need more polygons.
Maybe you're just bad at reading people.
It's like, some people weren't meant to do this.
I was not meant to interrogate people.
Yeah.
And then the Little Big Planet people came out and showed the, what was this called?
It was called nothing.
I don't think they had a name. I think they were just talking about.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was just.
It's just more. Is it more fluff and like, PlayStation is more creative.
when technically it's just them that's more creative. Because I mean, there's a studio doing it. It wasn't like Sony's doing it. So.
But Sony owns them RPGs.
Well, yeah, but Sony owns a lot of people. That doesn't mean they get to take credit for everything. Seriously.
I mean, when's the last awesome, creative, innovative thing you saw from their competition that's not Nintendo? Just saying.
So in other words, you mean from Microsoft?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, in that case, then yeah, it's been years, but that wasn't a good question because you used 386 Nintendo from the from the answer. So, but yeah. I like Mini Molly Gold also.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat little demo. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
And I mean,
now able to get and use.
And even though some of their stuff, stuff they were showing probably, because we were joking around earlier about it and how it might not be easy to use. I mean, Little Big Planet was pretty, accessible for people who weren't necessarily game developers and stuff. I think cause it's like it works for beginners and for people who actually have the ability to sit there and take time and make working calculators and racing games and all kinds of crazy stuff. That it's like, and then I go in there, I'm like, yeah, I can't do all that. I can make a bridge.
I can make a square.
Yeah, it's like look how pretty my circle is. It's like I can do that.
Round square.
So it's like, yeah.
Oh jeez, they're showing Killzone tomorrow on late night with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I don't like him though. So
yeah,
like what RPG is saying. Like off of that, what is there for the people who can't do all the things that they just showed? Little Big Planet. If you can't create, you can still play the millions of levels from the people who can.
Well, you could still manipulate the marionettes.
Yeah, like if somebody builds two giant.
Oh yeah, that's what they said, right?
Like robot fights or something.
Robot fights.
They did say that
I love robots.
If you're not the creative type, you could just take other people's stuff and just build a town. They said, right? But that's what they're doing, building a town.
So I think it still has it's still there for people who may not have the skill level to pull off some of the stuff they were doing. It's like, well, yeah, you're the dev team. Of course you can do all this. Obviously, but it's like for the rest of us, it's like we'll just have my stick figure marionettes and things going on. So I don't know.
So like a big toy box, right?
Yeah.
Let me choose the toys I want to play with.
Okay, this is completely off topic, but it's kind of on topic. So posing the question to everybody else here, because I know you've all played Little Big Planet or whatever. What do you think is Okay. Let me restart the question. So basically, Minecraft was a huge phenomenon, whatever. You build your own world, etc., etc. But Little Big Planet didn't really reach that stratospheric level. Why do you think that is? Because I think they're very similar, but Minecraft, the scale is just that much more. So
everybody didn't have a PS3.
Yeah, I think the main reason is there was so much PS3 hate in the beginning that it could never be overcome. and then
Minecraft is just available everywhere. So
yeah, and the part that you play of Little Big Planet when you start off is not the creation part. It's the platforming, and they're not really integrated like Minecraft is. Whereas, in Little Big Planet, you can be, there are clearly people who are just players, and then there are clearly people who are just creators. And in this late stage, it's become more and more creators are just playing what other creators are playing, and there aren't really that many players anymore. Because the players just played maybe even just the campaign, and then they're just okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that because it seemed when I hear people talk about Minecraft, it just seems very similar, to a sense, but it
doesn't look anywhere near as pretty though.
Well, so that too is it was just such a huge success compared to Little Big Planet, which seemed it was, I don't know, like just as good or on the scale, but didn't have a chance.
Well, they also have that thing where you get to create together in a server or something. You get to
create, Little Big Planet
build this world together.
You can invite people to create with you on Little Big Planet. So
you can't. I guess it's not on the scale of Minecraft. But yeah, you can create together.
Yeah, because I've had people come into my create zone before, so it's possible. But yeah.
Okay, moving on to Capcom's tech demo.
Yes.
That looked pretty good, I must
love
say.
Capcom. Is what I would be saying if it wasn't a lie.
I think this was like the turning point for me, where it's like I'm getting one, even though I'd already said that like multiple times.
I was just about to say you would have been saying like that the entire conference.
I don't know. I was in such disbelief like after I saw this, because it was like the crappy fantasy setting that I'm just so sick of. But then it was like, it looks so good, and I was like, oh man, that fire! Oh man, that dragon! Oh man, that cave! Oh my god, that's so good! Oh man,
I find it strange that they would go that route, considering like so many Western RPGs have like been all over that. It's like all the Elder Scrolls,
the
Dragon
like all the
games,
developers make games in this vein.
It's like they all look the same. They're all
Do you think they saw like Dark Souls?
I think Dark Souls is
too.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because it seemed like it kind of like looked similar to Dark Souls and like kind of what they were doing. But I was always like, well, Dark Souls 2 is coming out now, so it's like I wouldn't even care whatever Capcom is rolling out the gate with, especially when they like to make super ultra versions all 2 months after you bought this one, and it's like, oh, way to screw me over, Capcom. Thanks a lot. So I think I'm just gonna stick with From Software on this one.
Did they make Dragon's Dogma?
Yes.
Okay, so that was their like try.
I thought it was gonna be the next Dragon's Dogma. I was like, whoa, shit, this looks great, but it's a new IP.
I played the demo and I wasn't impressed.
Yeah. But man, do you see that shield melt? Yeah, that was great.
Yep, that was the best. See, that's like, because like to me, like when I saw that, I was like, okay, this must be like the in-game part where like you put your shield up and you're blocking the fire, and it just looks so good, cause it's just like like all around you. Just, oh man,
there was a moment in the demo where it looked like gameplay, but then
because like you have
because there was like
HUD, and I was like. You have like 3 weapon slots or something. I was like, is this in game? Is this real? Is this in game footage? I was blown away. I was like, this looks amazing. I want to play this game now, and I cannot wait for this holiday season to buy PlayStation 4 and play at least awesome PS4 games.
I don't know. I think I'm semi over the whole medieval fantasy setting.
I was until I saw that tech demo.
But it's kind of weird, like the Japanese side. They're just working on tech demos now. It's like, but the system's releasing this fall, so like, or this holiday season, which could be next year as well.
It's not necessarily that they were just working on them. They probably just had them, and they've been developing other stuff, and they were just showing off the tech demos because it's something that's already been. It's like something they already had to the side instead of showing off work in progress for games or something. Especially, they seem big on the whole secrets and stuff when in that country for whatever reason. So,
speaking of secrets, we totally got to see the secret tech demo from last year again.
That we already all saw. So it wasn't that big of a secret.
And then we got a special announcement: Square Enix is making a Final Fantasy game.
Oh my god!
We'll get to see it in
Megaton.
It's like, wait, they do that? Although they did
make Final Fantasy
for PS4, so it's more. So I'm starting to worry that Versus 13 really did get pushed over to the next gen. So I
don't trust them.
Because I mean they already mentioned that they were using the Luminous engine for that game. So and now we already know it's a next gen engine. It's like you can only put 2 and 2 together. And it equals Versus 13.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like whoa. All that, dude, I just thought like the best reveal would be like, here's the CG trailer we showed 5 years ago or whatever. Here's in-game footage. It looks exactly the same. It's like, oh my gosh, in-game footage looks exactly like the cutscene. Oh my god, I'm just like, yeah. It's like if I had not pre-ordered yet, it's like I'd be like down at my games at 5 minutes, like driving down the street and like, dude, pre-order, Final Fantasy looks so good. PS4.
It's like I'm here to camp out for the PS4 now. That's okay with you?
I'm gonna start making a board of cardboard boxes of my games.
Final Fantasy 13 looked good too when they were showing the demo.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it still did when it was released. So.
It still looked good.
That's just fun to say.
So maybe we should be anticipating a really good corridor RPG.
A what?
Corridor RPG. Like a linear A to B.
Oh, you mean? I was like, what are you talking about? I thought you were like asking me something. Sorry. It's like you mean like an actual.
You know, RPG only gets good halfway through after you put 30 hours in. You're like, oh, what's the Grambles?
I call BS on that, and I'm not even going to get into it because.
Oh, don't worry, I agree.
I'm just hoping I hope it's open, like the scale thing. I like it in these games.
I just want an airship. Okay, who'd have to blow Sucker Lake to get an airship? Seriously.
Oh God. Yeah.
I just want an airship and other open world travel options. Just saying.
But then they'd have to go back to.
I don't care. Last Odyssey did it. You know, Cooney did it. I want it back.
Oh,
now.
I don't like the overall thing. I don't want them to go back to that. I really don't. I seriously just because
I could be flying in my airship, and be like, oh, it looks so good. Look at that water.
This is why I like games like Dark Souls and stuff. It's like everything's already connected. You don't have to go do this stupid overworld, wandering aimlessly and looking at nothing but deserts and crap. It's like, let me just...
Since we're modern times now, RPGs, they could also give fast travel for people who don't feel like traveling in the overworld and be like, oh, fine,
it's just
do that
stupid.
way.
Just give me the connected environments and make them look good. I don't need an overworld. Just keep that to your last gen. I don't need that crap. Just keep it. Just keep it. I don't want it.
So, if I can be allowed an aside,
No, you can't. Okay,
Aww.
go ahead. I'm just kidding.
There's more information just released on the DualShock 4. This is official. There's a speaker and a stereo headphone jack, and it comes with a mono headset, so it looks like that stereo headphone jack is for chatting. Kind of sucks. And but you can also hear sound effects come through the controller, so kind of like the Wiimotes.
The Wii, yes.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, even how often did they even use that feature for the Wii?
I know.
Like, I know No More Heroes did it, and so did Trauma Team. But like, other than that, I don't know.
You know, I can't imagine how much will this controller cost.
A lot.
To buy at a store.
To answer your question, a lot.
It has a speaker now. Jesus, are you kidding me?
Because I mean, it's basically a Vita without the screen, so it's like it's gonna be up there.
Not really. Vita has way more stuff in there.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like from a like, you know, because it has the touchpad or whatever the hell the screen thing's called, and your dual analogs and your buttons and your speakers and all that. I mean, obviously the Vita has more crap going on inside of it than a controller would. I'm just saying, like in general though, it's up there. It's gonna be up there.
Well,
and it has rumble because they totally didn't rip it out like they did last year.
Yeah. So in addition, you know, it has rumble. It still has a 6-axis sensor, but it's supposed to be a new, highly sensitive one. The light bar is 3 LEDs that can light up in different colors. So, for example, it could be like the same color as the player's avatar, and you would tell you know, which character is yours, or it can also show the color to tell you that your health is low, for example.
So, do you think it's going to be like that time we talked about Need for Speed and the cops were chasing you and it was going like red and blue,
really
like, stuff like that?
I really like that. I think it's going to entirely be up to the developers. I have a feeling a lot of developers will just be like, it's just going to be really lazy. It's like, oh, you're the purple guy, and it's just going to be purple. Or, oh, you're the guy, it's going to be red. Whereas, you know, some of them, like Need for Speed, they didn't have to do that. It could have stayed the same color the whole time. You don't even need the light bulb to play Need for Speed with the move. But it was very neat that they thought of that, and I was like, wow, this is super immersive.
Little touches like that are always welcome.
Yep. The start and select button are gone. They've been merged into a single options button.
What?
Makes sense.
Blasphemy.
Although, when you think about it, it's like, how often did you... It's like, it makes more sense to just go ahead and combine them, because giving them separate functions at this point has just become...
No, what if I want a map?
A map?
I want a map button. That's select always.
Well,
or I need to pause my game by pushing start, not option. What the heck?
Maybe the touchpad does everything. I don't know, because the touchpad is a...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's not multi-touch. It's a it's a dual touch. So you can touch 2 places at the same time.
You can touch it both ways.
All I was thinking about was sorry when you said that.
Embrace eternity.
Wow.
I'd like to touch them.
So are you going to see those videos where someone's like on the controller like rubbing furiously?
Oh. This is going to get real awkward real fast.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just seeing the stupidity of like these. I don't see the concepts of what will be good in implementing these features into the controller.
Well, you have to give it time. I mean, you don't...
You know, what's going to be really cool is that Ouya is going to be the first one to have it, so people can mess around with that first. Personally, I've been using the trackpad on my Mac, and there's actually some really cool stuff that you can do that wouldn't feel... for example, like if you were to play something like SimCity, or I forget what games have it. Anything where you have to put something on a grid, and with the controller sticks, you're just sort of, you have to scroll vertically and horizontally. It feels not as fluid as if you were using a mouse.
But isn't that what the move is for?
Not necessarily. I don't know.
Face.
No, this trackpad thing.
Well, I mean...
Seeing how small it is, like, I don't know what you could do with it. Other than, I'm trying to unlock a lockpick, and I just, like, move my hand over.
I have to rub it furiously.
I could just see, they implemented this feature because there's these games in Japan where it's like, you, like, massage the screen. And I could just see that's, like, the only function they included it for.
It's like Final Fantasy X-2 all over again. Oh, my God.
Wow, Trioptical. I mean, RPG. I wish you hadn't said that, 'cause it totally made me think of, like, the romance parts in Mass Effect, and, like, if you could somehow, like, have sections in games like that, where you just, like, tap in your controller, 'cause you're like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna tap it. Oh, I'm tapping it hard. Oh,
wow. This just got awkward.
Whoa, I'm just, using my Omni tool. What do you think I was doing? Seriously. Dirty minds.
It's still Bluetooth 2.1. Charges through the PS4, although... You'll be able to charge while the console is on standby.
Oh, that's a good feature.
Still going to use micro USB, so that's cool. And the battery is still non-removable lithium-ion. It has... So you probably saw the analog sticks and the triggers are different now.
No.
Oh, they're not that much different. Relax. Jeez.
I don't know, dude. Like, I hated L2 and R2 this gen from, like, what they were last gen, where it's just buttons, and it's just, like, these curved things. Like, I did not like that.
Good thing most...
What's it like now, Trioptical? Please tell me it's better.
It's supposed to be better. So, yes.
Supposed to be.
I will say yes. And then, finally, it's 210 grams, so slightly heavier than DualShock 3.
I like how the weight of measurement is in grams, like that's actually heavy at all.
Do you think it's lighter than the 360 controller? I gotta see the specs in the 360. Wait, how many grams do you say that PS4 controller is?
210.
How many grams?
You could probably just type in 360 and just go to any, like, of their sites or something. They have the specs for everything on them.
But it might be in American and not in metric.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about how this country works.
Wireless version is 265 grams, and the wired one is 300 grams.
So it's still lighter both.
That's weird. I thought that the wireless one was heavier. Strange.
Wait. Wireless what?
The wireless 360 controller.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Oh, Xbox 360.
Actually, the wired one is heavier because it has like a battery.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's going to be lighter than the Xbox controller is now.
That's cool.
But slightly heavier
than... The Xbox controller is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Is it
interesting? So, yeah, that's
good news.
DualShock 4, that's cool.
I don't know. I kind of like the controller look. So, there's that.
I don't like the lights.
I don't mind the lights.
I wish if there was an option, I'll turn it off. Why do you need the lights?
Because they help guide you in the darkness.
I hate my Move controller when I play it. Because I see the reflection on the monitor. It's like,
Stop playing so close. Why don't you just take a step back?
Man. I think it's a good thing they didn't show the system. Because who cares? Who cares what it looks like?
I want to know what it looks like. You have to make space for these kind of things. You can't just take a random console and just be like, hey, let me just stick it in there, because that's
like
how it works.
Such a worthless piece of information, though.
Yeah, I thought it was a very interesting omission, but it didn't bother me, so I'm like, whatever. Because I was already sold on it even without seeing it,
they kept
which was
talking
hilarious.
about how, we're not just making a box. So it's like, everybody, that's what their thing is. Like, who
the
cares
box
what
doesn't matter.
It's just a box.
I care.
Like, that's really awesome shit. I really like the streaming stuff because like I don't have my computer connected to stream shit. I have my microphone connected to the PC.
Yeah,
I can finally play in HD.
Yes. It is a crazy setup that you need to be able to do these things that people do now.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Soon it'll just be the one box.
And hopefully I could just download all my games again on the PSN store and be like, I'm sorry, Cat Collection, I must retire you so I can record games easier. And then I can totally stream it to everybody and be like, oh, Tekken's Backlog, Volume 5, Shadow of the Colossus, let's do it. Well, actually, I already beat that game.
Also, why... I know they didn't because they didn't really mention backwards compatibility, did they, when they did the...
No, they did. They talked about... Well, they didn't say that the console will play it. Yeah, it's in the cloud.
Because, I mean...
So my guess is, like, PlayStation Plus in the future includes a Gaikai subscription. Or, like, essentially. I mean, it's not going to be called that, but essentially that's what it's going to be. And then... So, as part of PlayStation Plus, you can stream this giant library of PS3 games.
But, I mean, like, what if you already own the games and you don't,
Unfortunately, I think you're going to have to buy them again.
Probably
at some sort of discount.
So, similar to the
Wii U.
This is
see that's the thing with me is like if they add the functionality of I can do all this stuff with my games I own, I just have to buy them again at like a discounted price. It's I don't know. The awesome games I'll buy again, but everything else I'll be like whatever, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But I mean, wait, because I don't really know how the whole hardware thing works in terms of backwards compatibility. But if it like has the player in the PS4, why wouldn't it be able to? Is it just like a laser thing, or is it just like the format just doesn't work? Or?
Yeah, basically,
and
like,
the GPU.
Yeah, it's like the stuff that makes games work in the PS3 are very specific to the PS3. So, like, the PS4 doesn't have any of those things in it.
Oh.
So, like, when the code comes off of your game and tries to tell the PS4 what to do, the PS4 will just be like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me to do. And then it would just do nothing.
That would be crazy, though, if, like, both the PS4 and 720 were, like, not backwards compatible, because it's, like, they're both doing, like, a hard reset, whereas, like, Nintendo in the past, who has not been backwards compatible friendly, is like, oh, we still got it.
Gone back to it, yeah.
Well, I think 360 will have, the 362, whatever they're having, is going to have no problem, because they already have a PC architecture, so...
Yeah, I think that's
got to be that one advantage they have, maybe. Just they have backwards compatibility. But at that point, who cares?
See, that's the thing, though, is, like, you could say the same thing last year with, like, PS3 having so much back catalog, blah, 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 but then nobody really cared.
No one really played their PS2 back catalog.
Whoa.
I did.
Except for a few.
I was about to say, Gamer.
The only game I played on PS3 was Yakuza 2, and that was my last one. That was it. I'm done.
See,
I totally just watched that Xenosaga Episode 2 preview we did yesterday. It was amazing. 4.5 hours.
I think it's changing every generation. Like, when this generation started, I said, like, PS2 backwards compatibility matters more because PS2 games don't look quite as dated compared to PS3 games. Whereas, like, with PS1 games looked super dated compared to PS2 games.
They look super dated compared to any of them now at this point.
Well, like, like PS4, like, everything we've seen, does it make Journey look terrible? Does it make Killzone 3 look terrible?
Yes.
No, not really.
No, like, those games still look good. They don't look as good, but they still look good, and they still look good on the screens that we're likely to have in the next 2 or 3 years. So, I think it matters that those games be accessible in some way. And I think, in the best case scenario, the PS4 would play all PS3 games. But from a hardware perspective, emulation just doesn't work that well for customized processors. So from a hardware perspective, I can't see it happening. And today confirmed that it's not going to happen. Whereas with the 360, they could conceivably, I guess it would still be emulation, but it would be easier because the architecture is more similar. Whereas Cell and the 86 architecture, totally different things. But yeah, I think backwards compatibility matters more and more now. And sort of the Gaikai solution, if they can get this working, that is a really awesome solution because it doesn't matter. It's like Steam. Like for me with Steam, every time I get a new computer, it's like I got an entirely new library of games because I can download them onto any console or on any of my computers, and then the newer one is going to show me a version that is prettier and smoother than I could ever get on my older PCs. So, if they can do something like that with the Gaikai thing, then it's like, oh, my PS3 games, they look about the same, but they have all these social features and this video thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like having a new version of the same game. And then you can just take them on, then they don't even have to talk about it for the next PlayStation after PlayStation 4. It's just like, well, Gaikai is still going to be there, so it will run on everything. I mean, you've played it on your tablet. It doesn't matter what your hardware is because we have the hardware here.
Wouldn't it be weird playing a PS3 game on your computer?
It would be, yeah.
Really freaky.
Would everyone suddenly start arguing, say, oh, PlayStation has no exclusives because I can play everything on my PC?
It's like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
That would be interesting, though. Like, if that is the case, they could open up, if PlayStation Plus is going to include Gaikai, they could potentially open up an entirely new market where it's just like Gaikai for PC. And then you have PlayStation Plus members who don't even have PlayStations. They just play all the PlayStation games on their PC screens. That would be crazy. But I guess they would still have to
They would lose in the hardware.
Yeah.
They need to sell that PS4.
But still, no, actually they don't, because selling the hardware is what causes them to lose money. If they just sell software,
oh yeah, they won't have to
then
worry
they're just
about
making money.
I'm the kind of person, I want my things direct feed. I don't want it streaming. I've tried streaming, like the Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, that issue where it's like I believe in this future that we're headed in, but I like running things on the native hardware that they were built on, and not just like, oh, it's just an emulated or stream or.
There's so many questions too. I mean, can Gaikai actually do this thing? And then the other thing, Gabe Newell recently talked about how he believes cloud gaming is just totally wrong. It's like the wrong direction because the more people using the cloud, the less performance everyone gets.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
So it's just like,
at the end we were wrong. We can't all use it at the same time, dudes.
If they're wrong about this and they can't make it work, that will be terrible.
I used to believe in digital distribution, and then I realized we couldn't all use it at the same time.
They need to lay down more cable. Put down more lines, more fiber optic lines. Just imagine the entire country filled with cable. It's like everything is digital.
That'd be nice.
Also, I completely forgot to mention the name of that game that we talked about for Capcom. It was called Deep Down, but that's just a working title.
Gross.
For Deep Down, you think this is gonna be like an Aqua game or something?
Yeah.
In the water.
All up in ya. Deep Down. Coming soon.
Who's next after that? Was Final Fantasy the last Japanese one?
Yeah. I think. No. Yes, because I think Blizzard came on after them, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Ubisoft and then Blizzard, blah, Activision and then Bungie.
Oh yeah. So.
Oh yeah, Bungie. They showed Destiny that looks much better on PS4 than it does on PS3, though, of course.
Well, I mean, obviously,
because everyone saw like the current gen footage, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the other two here, but I did.
I did.
It looked okay, but then you see
funny.
PS4.
It's begun.
It was funny because like they were talking about this whole week people have been talking about previews, and I was like, what's the role of previews and all this stuff? And like the Bungie event was something that was on everyone's mind because everyone went there and they basically saw nothing.
I know.
Like, what the heck? And so, we were questioning on Facebook today. It's like, why did they come out and show it now? Turns out it's because they were also going to be at the PlayStation event. So if they didn't show it themselves first, then it's like, well, people don't care as much about this. They all.
Hello? Oh, Trioptical dropped.
Oh no.
His baby probably pressed the button or something. Stop talking, Daddy.
Dang it, dropped.
Make me.
Oh, you're back, Trioptical. Trioptical?
And now he's gone again.
That was weird. He was back for like a split second.
This is why we need more cable.
Man.
All these third-party support, I think Nintendo looked, and they just died a little bit inside.
They should
I don't know about that.
I think they did, because like third-party support on Wii U is fucking flat as hell.
Because and it's kind of sad because it's like, with all these games going multi-platform, they somehow still get omitted, and it's like, well, doesn't really make a strong case for getting a Wii U, and nobody wants to put on it.
I think the only reason why we get a Wii U is just for Nintendo games, and that's about it. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that I am completely underwhelmed by Microsoft, so I can be like, all right, PS for you, for me, haha.
And what is now in the back of my head, like, I'm thinking, it's like, what is Microsoft's answer?
A concert!
You already did
Lady
Usher,
Gaga.
so who's next? Beyonce?
Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she was at the Super Bowl this year.
Oh
yeah, Beyonce.
Started here.
Yep.
It's like, here we go. Just whole Destiny's Child reunion. Just get the whole group together. It's like, go ahead, guys. Start parading out celebrities. It's like, I'm not a gamer, but I love Microsoft. I also
a gamer tag. It's right there.
It's like, oh god, here we go.
Oh.
So.
And we lost Trioptical.
Oh no. I'll try to re-edit him. But, yeah. Did you pause it?
I'm about to pause it now, because I didn't know if we could add him or not. But since we can, I'm sure.
I want to sell my...
Alright, we're back after some technical difficulties to talk about Ubisoft and their other demo of Watch Dogs. Or a new demo, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what they showed last year was next gen. At E3.
Yeah.
Which is why it was so pretty. And everybody's like, no way.
It's like, this
can't
should
be current gen.
Yeah. Well, that explains why. It probably wasn't.
Hey guys, it's still coming to the Wii U.
Yep. Yeah, that doesn't count. But, they probably... That's probably why they didn't, immediately confirm the platforms when the trailer was shown, and everybody was all, speculating and stuff, because they're like, well, we might have to save this reveal until next year when Sony does their PS4 reveal, so let's do that.
You know what I liked about the demo? He didn't kill the dude. He just knocked him out cold. You have the option to subdue him instead of just...
After he pulled the gun out, I was like, oh, here we go again. He's gonna shoot
he pulled a
again.
gun on him. It's like, oh my god, it's just another shooting... Even though it seemed like it was just a side quest thing, but it's like, he's gonna shoot the guy? He's just gonna have an argument with his, ex-girlfriend. But he just beat the crap out of him with a baton.
Oh, but I like murder.
I like how open it is.
Yeah, I said that too. after seeing that and this, like, oh, I already said this, I think, but like after seeing that and the City and Kills, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait for the next open world game in the next gen.
I just like there's a cop come in. Oh, I'll put the things up. Crashes into it. Like, haha.
Yeah, I was saying it felt like very cyberpunk because he could like just hack everything, and he was like ahead of the technology of everybody else that was up against him. So he could just like pull out his phone or his magical hacking device and be like, "Let me take control of this." Like when he stops the train to get on, that's pretty cool.
But they keep on like emphasizing that there's someone else looking at you. Maybe they'll like play into whatever PS4 can do. Like someone sees your stream, like, oh, he's doing so good. Let me just go into his game and just like mess him up. Let me hack all these cameras, and he won't be able to do anything.
Wait, you can do that? Was that a thing they showed?
At E3 is like sort of their intention, but maybe not. That would be cool though.
Be interesting. Then you might get those people who are just trolling you or being griefers.
Yeah, this is another game where it's like, oh, it's also on PS3, but I think I'll just, shell out for the awesomer PS4 version. So, yeah.
It sort of kills my buzz for, like, because usually if it's for PC, I'll buy it for PC. But now it's like, they're so alike, next gen and PC. It's like, I would rather just get the PS4 version.
Yeah, that's the way I'm feeling. It's like,
familiar.
I just feel more comfortable being a dirty console peasant and like getting the PS4 and like I don't have to worry about upgrading my computer again and just leave it the way it is because it's just fine the way it is. Until I need to upgrade it because it can't play anything at all. So yeah.
I'll just be getting the PSD versions of these things for now until I'm sold on the PS4. But although I do like the fact that they are still like even making it not just multi-platform but like multi-generational too, so people don't have to just necessarily adopt the new consoles if they don't want to, and they can still enjoy the games. So
yeah, I'm having like deja vu of like PS2 when it had like its Kiss Goodbye with God of War 2, and it's like could be coming to the end of the line with the awesome PS2 games, maybe. Hopefully not, though. Because, almost in year 10, so. Had a good run, though, so.
It had a really good run. Cause, I still bought, like, PS2 games into the PS3's life cycle. I think the last PS2 game I might have bought was, Persona 4, maybe? It might have been something after that. I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think the only reason I got a PS3 is because, like, I had to get one before they stopped making the backwards compatible or non-backwards compatible.
Yeah, I think that's why I jumped on it as well.
So it forced my hand. So it's like, yeah. Whereas it's weird, like, this way, or this time it's like the opposite way around, where they're just taking it out. And I'm like, well, I want one because it has awesome functionality, so.
But that also means now I can wait, though, because now I don't have to worry about losing anything, so it gives me, I'm okay. I don't have to be forced to buy it before they take out something that I wanted originally, so.
Okay, let's see. What's the next game? Was it Diablo 3?
Yes. Yeah, because Blizzard came on after them, so.
Yeah, it was really weird because the Blizzard's all... we have a strategic partnership to rule the world or whatever, and then it was like a funny joke because it was like, he doesn't mean it, but they totally could, maybe. And they're like, Diablo 3 on PS3 and PS4. That was weird.
Yay.
Very strange.
And I can continue not playing that game. Like I have.
They have a co-op mode.
Do they? I don't know.
He said it was single screen, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm guessing it still like splits into fourths. It just like only follows your character or something.
Wait, when that is what?
Well, I don't.
But if you're playing online, why would that even?
No, like on a console. If you're all like on the couch playing on a single screen.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would they even bother? Or they could just go the Crystal Chronicles route and just force you to stay together based on some arbitrary mechanic.
I don't think they'll do that. I don't know, it's really weird for me because like I feel Diablo 3 is just like not underrated, but like it was not as good as people thought it would be last year. So to see this be the game that they bring over, it's like, well.
Maybe they just want to give people who played. Maybe there was like fans of the series who didn't necessarily have the PCs to play them at this point, so they're like, well, maybe they'll have the console. So here you go. Janelle.
And is Diablo 3 the one where you have to be online all the time, or is that StarCraft 2?
Nope. Diablo 3.
Diablo 3.
Okay, so I'm wondering how they're going to handle that, too.
Why'd you have to be online all the time for it?
Because your character's all saved on the server.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Which was, I think, annoying the first week the game came out. God. Could barely play it, there's so much lag. On a single-player game. But yeah. Well, hopefully this leads to more games from Blizzard. Even though I don't think they're not working on anything. Except, what's the next game? We have
Project Titan.
What's that?
Project Titan.
The hell was that?
Part of the Swarm.
I don't know.
Okay, are you talking about the next Blizzard game, or just the next game in the StarCraft?
Next Blizzard game.
Isn't the Heart of the Swarm the next game?
We'll see.
Or do you mean game that like they're making that they haven't announced yet, gamer?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Oh,
It's just weird.
Okay.
It's a weird partnership.
Yeah, it was weird because like me and Trioptical were like saying a bunch of games of Blizzard before they announced it, and he was all like StarCraft Ghost, and I was like, oh, that'd be awesome if they brought that back, but they didn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo 3. So they said something about like they'd show more of it at PAX East, but since I'm not going, can't really get excited about that. And then some dude from Blizzard Activision came out and was like, oh, we have another studio we're working with that we're going to bring something to PS4 and 3. That is so weird to say. And he's like, here's Destiny from Bungie. That we.
So wait, are they like publishing for them now, or is it...
For that 10-year deal they signed with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then like we didn't get to see it or get a price or a day. We got the PS4 logo and coming holiday 2013.
Which can be any time between now and January.
Man,
one big
I wouldn't say
season.
January is holiday season.
It is.
I'd say the end of December. Because after the end of December, you're kind of like, that's like too far.
I think they'll be November.
Oh, I hope not. That's
I
so
agree.
late.
Because isn't that the same day as Nintendo? So yeah, or they're same time frame.
Didn't the PS3 launch in November, or
It's either November or October. Let me see.
So I think it depends on the price. If it comes out at like $3.99 or lower, it will be closer to the holidays. If it's above that, it'll be before, because the hardcore early adopter type people, they don't care what the price is.
yeah, they're gonna get
up to a point. Like it can be pretty high, but not that high. So for those people, you release it anytime, and they'll be totally okay. But if you have a closer to mass market price point, then you do it for the holidays. And some of those kids who have parents who have the money and just want PS4s themselves, like they will buy it and they will feel justified because it's the holidays.
Mm.
Yeah, PS3 was November 11th, 2006, and then PS2 was October 26th, 2000. So
yeah, so it's likely going to be somewhere around that time then.
Well, it's been 10 years. it's been, well, longer than that. I think, the industry has changed so much. It's no longer, we talked about this a lot. It's no longer just about toys, which is what the holidays is for. And look at this, like, their biggest games right now.
Yeah, they could put it out in the summer, and I'd totally buy it.
God of War is coming out in March. Last of Us is coming out in June. How come none of those came out during the holidays? Like, well, one, they probably weren't ready, but two, it's not about, oh, I need this for Christmas. I'm going to buy this for myself for Christmas. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You can buy it at any time for yourself.
Yeah, but it's easier to justify when it's like your birthday or Christmas, because then it's like, well, it's a gift for me, so it's okay. As opposed to if it's like June, and I'm like, okay, well, I should probably be paying my bills instead of buying myself things, so.
Well, again, assuming that you have the money, why should it matter when you buy it? Why should you need that justification?
Because it helps you sleep at night, Trioptical. That's why.
At 32, that doesn't make sense to me anymore.
I don't know. Depends. Like I said, when I have bills to pay and stuff, the only way I get away with spending unnecessary money on myself is when it's like around my birthday or Christmas, because then I'm always like, it doesn't matter how much money I spend on myself because it's a gift for me. So that's usually how I feel okay with spending that kind of money on myself. So otherwise, I'm always like, well, I could buy this, but at the same time, I
don't need to pay these bills. It's my birthday.
Exactly. Because it's like, I'm more important than these bills, so that's all that matters. But it's like, when it's like the middle of the year, and I'm like, okay, well, it's June. I probably should, pay my rent and stuff and be more concerned about paying bills than I am in like March or December, where I'm like, okay, it's all about me. I don't care about anything else. I'm just going to spend my money.
I got my PS4, and, they cut the power.
It's like, oh, well, it's okay. I mean, obviously, stuff like that gets paid regardless, but still, I feel more okay with spending that kind of money when it's a gift for myself, as opposed to just buying it recreationally. I can't say that word, but that. So, like, if they released it next month, yeah, I'd totally buy it. It's like a birthday present for myself. I don't care. So, since that's not going to happen, I'm probably going to have to wait until like next year or something anyway, so.
Do we go through everything?
I think so. Because at the end they just their little montage, right? Their montage.
Montage.
So,
yeah. It was pretty exciting. I think there's a lot of negativity out there right now because of the preview issue, but I think they showed us one graphics, which is not as exciting anymore. I mean, it kind of is in the moment, but it's never something that you think back on and it was like, oh, that was the reason I bought it.
Yeah, because like you already know it's gonna look pretty.
That's the thing that sold me and totally surprised me. And oh my gosh, it looked better, really? Sold.
It doesn't really look that much better. Like I said in Trioptical, it's like everything in the foreground looks kind of the same, but it's just the stuff in the background and all the the extra touches that they put on.
Well, it's because the stuff they were showing off couldn't really show you like foreground stuff that well necessarily. So.
Well, it's the thing, like the thing that they showed a lot of was characters falling apart. So Knack had it, and Infamous Second Son had it, and even the Unreal 4 tech demo had it.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That's the thing that I guess is hard to do right now. Like in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, you can cut apart anything, but it doesn't stay around after you've cut it up because you don't have that kind of memory to just waste on bits and pieces, like thousands of bits and pieces of a highway that you cut down.
It's true.
And the PS4 apparently does have the memory.
Which now means once you start cutting things up, the streets are going to be littered with parts.
Man, memory up the wazoo.
So much memory. It's like a crazy upgrade.
Developers would be like, looking it up.
But yeah, beyond that, like...
I kind of like what the guy said, the architect of the PS4. He's like, the PC architecture, they look good initially, but then they'll get better over time. Like, man, just imagine the games look good now. What will they look like?
Yeah, because it's like, could you remember like launch for the current gen, and then like how good some games have end up looking like now compared to then? So it's like, I mean, because you get games like Gran Turismo 5 and Metal Gear Solid 4 and stuff that are really like, I guess, pushing the consoles, and then
like now, yeah, because the PC architecture is so well understood, it was just like we have a much higher starting point. So it's like, yeah, in the future, when people have had more time.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, I can't imagine, how would you fill so much memory? I don't think it's, because like right now the tools that we have to make these assets for games are already so far beyond what a game can actually render in real time. So, maybe at this point, now PS4 has the power to match those tools. And so it's like, okay, so your limiting factor is how much time do you have to spend drawing one character or a tree? And then, multiply that by the number of trees or characters you're going to have in your game. And divide by the number of people you have. And then, 3 years down the line, what is that game going to look like?
Can you not just copy and paste them once you get one of them? Is that not how it works?
That doesn't look natural.
Oh, I guess not, but it's easier. This is why I'm not a developer, so.
All I know is, man, Bethesda better not make any bullshit excuses. PS4.
Why? They could just patch it in later. They have internet still.
It would be refreshing if it was just regular excuses. Like, we just don't care.
It's like we know, Bethesda. We know.
I'm sorry, but we just don't care. But yeah, like I love that was just sort of matter of fact. They didn't spend a lot of time talking about, look how many ducks we can throw in this bathtub, and look, the bathtub, we can zoom out into space, and we're dropping ducks on the planet, and we're gonna fill the planet with ducks. It's like they didn't talk about a lot of like graphics and things like that. It was all about, of course they have good graphics. Here's what it looks like. But what we really want to emphasize is, hey, developers, it will not be a nightmare working on PS4. And also, there's going to be these cool new features. So, hey, gamers, developers are going to make games because it's easy. And also, we have this sharing thing, which we know you like to do. There are millions of YouTube videos that prove it. This is going to make it so much easier. Oh, and, some things that we thought would not be nice. Save states. It's like, you just want to, turn off the console for a moment? You can do that. Say, someone's using your TV, you can play on your Vita, play on your tablet. So it's like these convenience features that I don't think people even realize right now how, if you don't have a Vita, you have not yet experienced how awesome it is to just be able to turn it off. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I need a save point.
Yeah, aim into that.
You don't even need to pause. You just like push the power button, and then you don't have to worry. You come back later, it's like, it's right where you left off. That is huge for me on the Vita.
Yeah, it is. Especially because, like, when I was playing Persona 4 or whatever, and I was like, gosh, I forgot about the lack of save points in this game. So it's always great to just be like, okay, I can just turn this off, come back to it later, and I'll be all right. I have to worry about getting eaten alive or something. So it's a great convenience.
Yeah, it is so cool. And then, man, I hope that the U.S. upgrades its internet infrastructure and everyone can have broadband, because some of the streaming things you can do right now are really awesome. And PS4 is like, we're making those things even easier.
Mm.
I guess that's a wrap.
Oh wow! Look at this. I didn't notice this, but when someone's streaming, there's 3 buttons on the bottom of the screen: command, join, or buy.
Wait,
You actually could buy a game while you were watching something.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I want to play that.
I also think it's funny that the first one's called command as opposed to like request.
Yeah, seriously.
Commandeer.
It's like take over.
It's like really aggressive.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what it is. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I think that would be cool because it's like, to me, it's like a less stranger danger scary place of like if I'm like watching someone stream a game and like I have that game and I could be like, hey, you want to play? And like, okay, sure, and like just join their game. That'd be pretty cool to like meet friends that way on like the PlayStation Network. Like now it's just like the Wild West. And it's like I don't know if this person's a cool person or not because I'm completely muted most of the time because I think you're all crazy people that would chop me up and stick me in the wall or something. So yeah.
Because people do that still, so gotta be careful.
I mean, there's multiple ways to skin a human because, we're so fragile and stuff.
Actually, the human body's actually not that fragile.
I guess you could approach it from different directions, but
Okay, that was like an analogy RPG. I'm like what I was going to say was like there's like more than one way to kill someone. So
Oh yes, there is
humans
that.
Humans are such fragile creatures because like there are so many different ways.
But our bodies are surprisingly resilient.
I don't know about that.
They are. Trust me.
Oh, I wish I knew that because I'd probably be like less scared all the time. Should have like everything. Like dogs and other animals.
You'd be surprised
that could
at the
kill
kind
me.
of punishment you can take and your body can recover from. Okay, but we digress.
Yes,
I
should wrap this up.
Yeah.
We could literally go on for hours and hours and just
we can't
talk about random things.
But overall, for me though, I think I'm still not sold on the PS4 yet. I think I'm slightly more optimistic than I was going in or coming out than I was when I was going in. So I mean, at least there's that. But I'm still not like all excited for it just yet. So I guess we'll see what happens when E3 comes around.
Gamer, do you have any parting words?
Killzone look good. Man, it looks fantastic.
But
yeah, can't wait. Day one, baby. Day one.
That was to be expected because it's gamer. So
He's like, that's my mindset now, but like, it's like I know that if like the price is like really not on
but
point.
Aren't you saving up for it though?
Yeah,
you had like $800 for it, right?
Let me look at my Facebook picture chart.
That was your chart, $800. So you have money to spend.
Oh yeah, I calculated if I save $60 a month from like not buying games, so that would be like $720 or something. So
I think if it launches at $350 or below, I'll buy it. Other than that, I'm just gonna have to wait. Is how I feel at this point. So.
But yeah, I was gonna say like, I was kind of downer about the industry in general. Like, oh man, dude, we're totally gonna like crash like we did all that time ago, and I will not be able to play games anymore, and it'll be the end, and Doom, the end is nigh, blah blah blah. Like we talked about like a couple of other episodes ago, how like there's just too many games, and people are like playing the crappy games, and not the awesome games, and just the only people making money are like the AAA games, and it's all crazy and all madness. It's all going to end terribly when one day it is. There will be no games to play because there won't be any game industry because it'll crash. And it's like no, but after this conference here, like Trioptical said, the game industry has carried me off in its arms, and it's like whatever that song is that plays in The Bodyguard, whatever. So. And I'm all happy now and feeling safe again. But after I get my reality check at E3 of like how much it's going to cost, I have to like actually pay for it, and I'm not in a happy gumdrop dreamland of oh man, it's so awesome, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not Christmas.
We'll see, but right now I'm aboard the hype train, and I am enjoying my ride onto the PS4 station, and I can't wait to get one. Day one. So yeah, Darth Gamer. So yeah, until next episode, or you see or hear from us again, Aimless Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and we're now signing off.